What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. Sorry, I gotta fix my webcam real quick. I did not adjust the settings to where it won't autofocus, so I gotta fix that real quick. Also, I'm out of breath. Man, I'm out of shape. I do not exercise enough. I can tell you guys that now. I do not exercise enough. Lord, I get winded from running up and down the steps. It's a real problem. Whew. Ben, trust me, I have not forgotten about trades, brother. I have not forgotten about trades. I will be very patiently waiting to hear about your trade offers tomorrow to see how I can not help you win the football this year, because I am doomed. I don't even know what has to happen for me to make the playoffs. And Jacob, what's up, dude? How are you, man? I haven't talked to you in forever, brother. I was actually talking to Frankie the other day. Me and him were texting before I went out of town. Me and him were talking about trying to get together, dude. I didn't even know he was in the hospital, dude. My mom told me that he was in the hospital. I had no idea. I thought that was crazy to hear about it that way. So kind of taken back a little for it, honestly. Probably win the last 2 weeks. I mean, yeah, if I win the last 2 weeks and the right people lose, I could make the playoffs. That's probably the only way I'm making fantasy football playoffs at this point, in our league anyway. So I'm doing well, man. Yeah, life is a little wild right now. Haha. Yeah, dude, I believe it, man. That's crazy news. I was pretty floored when I heard that he was in the hospital, man. So I hope he's on the up and up, man. And I hope you and your wife and your kiddo's been doing well, man. I was like, we ain't talked to him forever, but I hope you guys are doing well, man. Staying healthy for sure. How's pickleball? So we actually didn't play pickleball. Pickleball, it was 35 degrees outside, and I just decided that's it for me. I'm not playing pickleball when it's 35 degrees outside. It's just too cold. I could not take it. So we decided to go to dinner. We just went to dinner instead. So I'm actually getting a little bit of an earlier jump on streaming than I normally do on Monday nights, which is kind of exciting. I'm excited to get a little bit of extra time in. I haven't played Katsu in a while, so I'm hoping that playing Katsu tonight, I can hopefully learn some stuff, and maybe everybody in the chat will help me walk through some lines, and we'll figure some stuff out tonight. So hopefully you're doing well, dude. I am. Me and Carly are doing really well, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot, man. I appreciate that, Jacob. So just like I was talking about, we're going to be playing Katsu tonight. The poll that I ran last week when I went out of town was, what do you guys want to see me vote on, or what do you guys want to see me play? For everybody who's not aware, that's a members only poll that I run every week for everybody on YouTube. So if you're interested in voting on what I play, check out becoming a member. Click the little join button right down below me there. That is on YouTube exclusively. As part of being a part of my YouTube memberships. I'm trying to find a way to incorporate that into Twitch memberships right now, but I'm having a hard time figuring out what that is. So as soon as I figure that out, I'm going to incorporate that into people who are a part of Twitch as well. So we're going to be playing Worlds Katsu tonight. I'm pretty excited to be playing this list. I was looking at it, and it's got more yellows in it than I thought it would have, and I'm kind of excited. Part of me thinks that was kind of to help combat Icelander at Worlds, so I think that was an interesting choice, and I'm really excited to play it tonight and see how it does. I am by no means a Katsu aficionado, so you guys are definitely going to have to help me walk through some of the lines here, and we're going to be figuring this out as we go on throughout the night, but I am excited to play the deck tonight. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about before I really jump into the games is that this week I'm going to be playing some Blitz games offline, and those are going to be my videos that I'm posting on Wednesday and Saturday like I normally do. I normally, pick out one of the games from each of my streams, and I post them because I feel like they really highlight the matchups, and it allows me to go a little bit more in depth and share that information with you guys that I don't get to share when I'm streaming. So that's normally what I'm looking at, but this week I'm looking at getting some Blitz gameplay out there. I learned last night that the skirmish that I'm playing at is not this weekend, it is the following weekend, so I'm going to be preparing for that a little bit offline to be ready to play Blitz. So when that comes around, I'll have an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm kind of excited. I had a couple guys on the team throw a couple of deck ideas at me today, and so I'll probably be testing those and playing those off stream so that we can get some videos going this week and try to get some Blitz out there, because I know people like Blitz and I know people like to play it, but I'm not a Blitz person. Honestly, I'm just not a big Blitz person. It's not something that I'm a fan of, but got to play it for skirmish season. The Hawaiian shirts are supposed to help keep you warm. It's a mental thing. Well, brother, it does not work. I am not there mentally. I can tell you that right now. Oh, man. All right. So Arcane Lantern is probably something that I guess we want to go second here. I don't know. I guess we want to go second here. Yeah, I assume that like Arcane Lantern is like not really like I'm not really gonna play that tonight, considering Icelanders hit the edge of the format here. Probably looking at running Mask of Momentum here. I know that the deck blocks pretty efficiently, but maybe Mask of Momentum is where we want to be. I know that in Fi, I'm looking to use Mask of the Pouncing Links to really get value out of that, but maybe Mask of Momentum is where we want to be at. I'm honestly not sure. Are we just supposed to run all 70 cards? Like Flick Flax and Reinforce the Lines and just try to make our hands happen? Like, is that what we're supposed to do? I honestly don't know as Katsu. I know as Fi, like, we just want to fat stack the deck and just try to, like, let them not fatigue us. I guess let's just try it like this, and we'll just... maybe we want to run Pouncing Links? I don't know. Let's try it with Momentum. I'm honestly not sure what the correct play is here, but I guess we'll just have to play it and find out here. This is why you're 4-8. If me not being mentally prepared for Hawaiian shirts to keep me warm when I'm playing pickleball is why I'm 4-8 in fantasy football, then I'm doomed, man. Just need to hang up the fictitious pads now, honestly. Have you played much Katsu lately? So I haven't played a lot of Katsu lately, actually. I'm kind of excited to play a little Katsu because I haven't played a lot of it recently. It's I have been focusing on Fi as like my ninja of choice lately, so I haven't really got to do too much with it, actually. I think we're just going to go Kadachi, into E-Strike for 7, putting the Gust Wave on the bottom, and we'll Arsenal the Whelming Gust Wave here. I think that's the correct play. So let's go buff power. It's also going to be weird not having snaps here. Snaps is something I'm pretty used to having access to that can like really help me out in a tight spot. And Breeze Rider Boots is definitely something that we're like opening. When your opponent opens Breeze Rider Boots, they're definitely looking to combo you more regularly than like other ninja decks. So yeah, I mean, I think our opponent recognizes here that we have no way to go again. So they're just gonna... I mean, I guess I could have Razor here. I don't know. No, we won't use Katsu's ability. And I actually really like Soul Beat Strike because it's a card that like makes them want to block if they don't want to. I kind of want to Arsenal Soul Beat Strike here because I don't care to give it up if I get into a bad spot, but I also don't mind to keep it. I think I want to keep Flick Flack for when I really need to play the Flick Flack here, actually. Like, Flick Flack is a card that, like, I need to kind of, like, bail me out here. I imagine he's going draw a card. No, he's going to try and race me. Interesting. That's good to know. Do you like One Piece? If so, there's a TCG I've been getting into, and it's actually decent. So, I was actually talking about the One Piece TCG last night. I've heard that it's, like, not bad. I've heard that, like, the One Piece TCG is actually, like, pretty good. I guess we'll just take 4. Nah, let's just block 6. So I was talking to somebody about this last night, and like I've not really played One Piece. I've never watched One Piece. I don't know a lot about it. But like from what I've seen of it, Jacob, it really looks like the cards look like just a lot of fan service. And I'm gonna be honest, like that whole thing like doesn't really appeal to me much like as a person. So I'm automatically like kind of turned away from the game. Because of that, but I've actually heard that like the gameplay in the game is actually like really good and like really clean. I've heard that it's like actually like a really like well designed game and plays very very well actually. So I have heard that from multiple people. I guess let's just pitch this. We have a Flick Flack in our arsenal, so. We'll pitch stack one of our defense reactions here. Is that have you been playing a lot of One Piece, Jacob? Is that like something you've gotten into recently? Like you gotten back like into TCGs a little bit? Let's go 100 wins here for 3. And I mean, I was like, if he actually lets this hit, like I don't think he's going to. I was like, I'm sure he has a defense reaction here, but I was like, if he does let this hit, then we do have the ability to go get the 0 for 4 that lets us shuffle this back in. So something to keep in mind here. Honestly, I can understand not liking fan service. It's a bit much at times for sure. The mechanics are very smooth and it's easy to understand. Yeah, so I've actually heard really good things about the gameplay, like as a whole. Like I've heard a lot of people say stuff like that like it's pretty easy to understand for like newer players, and like it's like actually like quite a bit of fun. So I was like, yeah, there's a store in Kingsport that I think they play One Piece pretty regularly there. Called Cardboard Shuffle. I don't know if you've ever been out there or not, but I think that they play it pretty regularly out there. So, but that's, yeah, honestly, man, that's really all I know about it, is that I've heard some people say it's pretty good. Ooh, Tunic. Does that mean they're coming in with the old? So he's just throwing Shakedown at me. I wonder if it's a Shred. Shred could be bad for us. I mean, my hand is pretty good here. Like, yeah, my hand's pretty solid here. So I think I'm just going to block like this. And then I'm just going to give the Flick Flack here. And if it is a Shred, then we're kind of in a bad spot. I mean, I guess if he wants to throw the Nerve Scalpel at me, that's also like an option. I wasn't really thinking about that because like I'm kind of surprised that he wants to give up a Nerve Scalpel this early in the game. But if he chooses blue, I was like, that's fine. If he takes red, he only gets one option. So I mean, I guess I could like just use the Tunic here. There's probably no reason to really hold it here. Yeah, my friend actually asked me, have you ever heard of Magic Gathering a few months ago? And I was like, sit down, son, let me tell you the lore. That's great, dude. That's awesome. I actually played a One Piece tourney at Cardboard and played a guy that knew you. His nickname was like Porter something. I'm trying to think. Porter something. I might know him if I saw him. I was like, there's a lot of people that like I know like in the community that like I would know them if I saw them kind of thing. So that might be one of those scenarios where like I would know him if I saw him. But I was like, off the top of my head, I don't recognize like Porter something as like a name that I would recognize. Of course, I also haven't played Magic in a while, so like it's definitely very possible that like I do know this guy and I just don't recognize him, the name off the top of my head. I was like, if our opponent decides to just block with Crown, I don't think we'll use breaking skills here. I mean, that's a pretty good hand all the way around. Like, I don't really want to take a Frailty token or anything. I guess if I block with Warmongers and Cabana Conqueror, I can just go Kadachi, Arsenal the Gust Wave here. And like try to set up for a little bit of a combo line. The other option is, yeah, no, I think that's my best play. And I think I want to keep the Lord of Wind in my deck here. He said he qualified for the Pro Tour as well. Glasses with shortish blonde hair. Shortish blonde hair. That's cool that like he qualified for the Pro Tour. I'm trying to think. Shortish blonde hair. I'm like sitting here like racking my brain trying to think of who I know with the name Porter. Like the person that I think of that like might play One Piece that like I can think of, like we call him Natty Ice. I was like, if that's it, maybe. Hang on, I'll try to find his name through the app. Okay, yeah, that works, man. That works. Yeah, if you can find his name, yeah, I'd love to know. I was like, I'd love to know. This is a pretty good hand all the way around, I feel like. Like, we're not really required to block with a hand like this. But we can in certain situations. Surging Strike really turns this hand on here for us. I think we're just going to say no blocks here. Like, I don't think there's really a reason to block 3 or do anything. Okay, Surgical Extraction's pretty good. The fact that they actually get to take the Surging Strike out of our hand is, like, super obnoxious and puts us in a really awkward spot. Portland Wills Cash Pope III. Oh my god, what a name. Brother, that is a name if I've ever heard one. Yeah, I be lying if I said I knew somebody with that name. That is an interesting name to say the least. Oh man, that's wild, dude. What a nickname. I guess let's throw a Kadachi, and then I'll try to throw the 100 wins here. We're keeping some good cards in our deck. We're giving us like better targets later in the game here. They play a Sink Below from hand, which makes sense here. I think we're just gonna pass. Like, again, we're just really hoping that they don't have like hand disruption here. Even Arsenal disruption is kind of okay with us here at this point in the game. The Art of War would have also been really good. Like, if we had drawn the Art of War on this turn, that would have been a really sweet card to have. Okay. Yeah, I'll just take this here. This is fine. I think we'll just go to 24. This is going to be Nibbleism, Leave No Witnesses, I bet. Codex of Frailty into Death Touch. Yep. Death Touch for 6 off of the Tunic counter. So we're going to go, or I'm sorry, for 9. So we're going to go to 15 to keep our hand here, which I think is fine. Yeah, we're a little behind here, but I feel like we have a pretty good hand to play catch up with. So we're just going to lead on the Surging Strike. Having double Surging Strike and Ghost Wave is really good here. I wish I had more to go off of. He just knew you, and I mentioned teaching you and Frankie, and it was cool to get to people into something I liked. His response was, so you're the reason there's one more mono red aggro player in the world. I laughed. Well, it definitely sounds like he knows me. If he knows that I'm like a big like red aggro player, definitely sounds like he knows me then. I definitely will say that. I feel like this game is not going very well for us. So I actually can't do Katsu here, can I? Because I don't have a 0? Man, that's pretty unfortunate. I guess this hand is not as good as I thought it was. Like, I wish I could use Katsu's ability. I would love to be able to use Katsu's ability here. So I guess I'm just going to have to click no. And then I guess we're just going to have to throw... Like, I could just throw the Surging Strike here, but I think I'm just going to throw this for 3. We're going to go to 13, and then I'm going to Arsenal the Surging Strike, and I'm going to hope to have, like, a big combo turn here. Yeah, I guess there's not really, like... I guess I didn't have a 0-coster in my hand to discard. Definitely something I should have thought about there. That was not my best play I've ever made. I think he was at the event when I got super salty at Mulligan's, when he was in Colonial Heights when we drafted with Frankie and Emily. I'll find out his name to get back to you. Yeah, no, that sounds good, man. But yeah, I remember that. I remember we played Limited out there. That was a lot of fun. That was like Two-Headed Giant Sealed or something like that. That was a really fun event. I had a good time doing that out there. All right. I think this is another no block situation. I feel like we're falling behind really quickly. And I feel like I'm definitely not playing this correctly, but I also don't really know how to play this into Azuri. Ugh, big Sag. So if I do this, I'm just dead to Flick Knives, basically. Like, on command. Because I take 3, or I take 4, go to 3, and then I take 2 and go to 1. I guess blocking with Command and Conquer is my best play here. Did you see the announcement that Kasai and Kano are out in Blitz as of December 1st? Oh, wow. No, Trent, I did not see that, dude. That's crazy. I like the whole like weekly update thing. I actually think that's like a really cool concept and like a really cool idea. I'm actually a really big fan of that whole like concept. That's really neat though that they've decided to like go that whole route. I think that's really cool. So that definitely takes Kano off of my list of decks that I was considering playing at my skirmish next weekend. But I guess it probably puts me like leaning more towards like Fi or like Dash or something like that. One of the guys on our team had a really cool idea for Dash, so debating if like maybe that's the play, like maybe that's the way I want to go. Yes, so let's give this the name. We're gonna name Surging Strike. Yes, we're gonna Katsu. We're gonna discard the Fluster Fist. And we're gonna get a Whelming Gust Wave. We're gonna swing the Whelming Gust Wave for 4 here. He probably gives a card and Crown if I had to guess. Probably his best option here. If he blocks for 4, we're definitely gonna get him here. My wife fell in love with playing Kasai. She's not taking the news well. Ooh, yeah, I could see that. I could see that being like some tough news to take, honestly. I was like, Kasai's really cool. Like I played Kasai a few times and like she's a really fun hero. I was like, I really like enjoy like the play patterns that she offers and stuff like that. So what is his hand? All right. Well, we can try to make something happen here, I guess. But yeah, I could definitely, Trent, I could definitely see her like taking that news, like not taking that news well, because I get it. Like that's one of those things. Like that would be tough for me to hear. Like, because I mean, Kasai is like a really fun hero. Like Kasai is really cool. And I think Kasai has like a lot of really cool patterns. Plus, it was like one of the first like real big heroes that I got into with the game. So I definitely get that. I guess let's just go ahead and play it and see what we draw here. And I'm probably looking at playing like normal Dash, like old school Dash, is probably what I'm looking at here if I had to guess. I'd probably be looking to play old school Dash over new Dash, but I do think that the team and I are going to be trying to work on how to play Dash database in Blitz to see if it's actually good enough or not. So I'm going to be trying it, especially after you told me you won your skirmish with it. Oh, and by the way, Trent, thanks for becoming a member on YouTube last night, man. I saw that after the stream ended. Thanks for becoming a member on the big support group, man. Appreciate that. Means a lot. Means a lot, buddy. So, am I Katsuing here? I don't think so. I don't think I'm supposed to Katsu. I think I'm just supposed to go Kadachi. So if I go Kadachi, or no, I'm sorry. I have to play Bonds here. Because it's the last attack on the combat chain. So I have to do that. And then we're going to get a Fluster Fist because it's a 0 for 4 here. Yeah, that's definitely the play. Carly using the sub emotes on Twitch. I love that like picture so much. I thought that was so funny when I saw that. Like that party favor meme of me like where we're like when we're at the beach and like I'm just like sticking my tongue out, I think is like one of the funniest things. Like I think that's like hilarious. I could throw this to try to threaten Mask if I wanted to. I mean, I guess, like, I might as well throw the Fluster Fist here. Like, and if they let it hit, like, if they say no blocks, I could turn on the Breeze Rider Boots here and, like, see what I draw and, like, try to throw a few more points here because I'm going to get an extra card. I mean, is there going to be a better turn for me at this point in the game when I'm at 4? I don't think so. Let's see what we draw first. Really makes me wish I hadn't thrown that extra Kodachi. Definitely a mistake on my part. I think I'm forced to say no here. And Arsenal the Surging Strike. Yeah, I think this is the route I had to go. Let's go ahead and block 6. Our opponent's at 8. Of course, man. Love your streams. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Trent. It means a lot, man. I really enjoy streaming, man, and like playing Flesh and Blood. It's a lot of fun, and I think there's a lot of like really cool people in the community. So it's a lot of fun to like be a part of the community and like, you know, to like I don't know, like it's really fun to be a part of the community. Like I enjoy it a lot. And then I'm gonna die the flick knives here. So I was never just gonna beat the shred because then I just die there. Yeah, well played by my opponent. You're definitely seeing like my lack of Katsu experience, especially into this matchup right here. Definitely seeing a lot of that. Like just 1000% just seeing like my lack of experience right there in that matchup. I definitely did not play that correctly. I feel like I don't know if that's a favored matchup or not, but it might be if I'm running Mask of Momentum. Also, if I keep the extra resource, I'm able to throw a yellow Surging Strike for 4 and then a Whelming Gust Wave for 3 that turn. So like I get so much more value out of that. I feel like if I don't throw the Kodachi there, I can always throw the Kodachi afterwards if I do decide to break it and it's 1 point. Like I don't know. Like that's an interesting decision point that like I'd be curious to know like what you guys think about that, because I think that like with the Kodachi in my hand or with the Surging Strike in my hand, it's probably just correct to always keep that so that I can push. Even if I draw a blue one, I'm pushing 6 more points than I had. So I'm giving up a point and adding 6 to the board, so I'm going +5 there, which means my opponent goes from 9 to 4 depending on how they block, and I have another on hit effect. But I'm actually adding 7 points to the board, so I'm really adding 6 points there because the Surging Strike is for 4, the Whelming Gust Wave is for 3, which is 7, minus the Kodachi that I threw is 6. So I'm going +6 on the board right there, plus an extra on hit when all of my cards have go again. So I have the potential to add an extra card if my opponent decides not to block, and putting them down to having 2 cards in hand versus 1 makes their decision point a lot more interesting because they're forced to block with the shred, I think, or they're forced to give me the card. And I think if they just decide to take 6 extra points and go to 2 and give me a card, I do not think is a correct decision. Anyway, sorry, that's like, I know that's a lot to like unpack right there, but I'm just trying to think of how that game plays out differently if I play correctly. It's interesting. It's a lot to unpack and a lot to think about there. Something good to build on going into the next games right there. Thanks for the content, broski. Dude, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for being a part of the stream and hanging out, man. It is, I've streamed for quite a while. Like, I've been streaming for like, 2 or 3 years now, and like, I haven't always had an audience. Like, sometimes, it's like just me and Carly playing games, and like, honestly, like, I love playing games with Carly, and like, we have a blast. I was like, but it's like, it's so much fun, like, getting to share like Flesh and Blood and like my passion with like other people who love the game and love to like, be a part of the community and hang out. So it's a lot of fun. So man, thank you guys for being a part of the stream. You guys being a part of the stream makes it twice as much fun for me. So let's see. Katsu, I played against Azuri, I played against a Talishar opponent. I was playing against Azuri. I went second. I lost. Played incorrectly. More than likely most of the game. End of game for sure. Should have not thrown second Kodachi to play to my outs with surging in my hand. All right, so that's kind of a detailed note, a little bit more detailed than I normally get when I talk about my notes and stuff like that. But it's good to have those notes there. Good to have those notes there and be able to like really talk about that and kind of like break that out a little bit. So, all right, cool. I've lost my link. Sag. All right, first game was a close one. I definitely could have played a little bit cleaner, and we probably would have came out on top had I made some better plays there. So let's try to clean it up a little bit, and let's try to play a little bit better this time around. This is a deck that looks to block quite a bit, so I imagine that we're still on the Mask of Momentum plan here. I think we might just be all in on the combo plan here. Like, there's 19 blues in our deck. So like, I don't like, we definitely like, let's look at our list here. We definitely don't want Reinforce Saline. I don't know that we want Flick Flax here. I don't know. Like, maybe Flick Flax aren't where we want to be. I really like the Ancestral Empowerments here. I think the one of Mugenshi release is also a really sweet card, giving us that extra combo out there. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut the Soul Beat Strikes. I don't know. Soul Beat Strike is a card that like kind of demands to be blocked, but our opponent's probably going to be on a lot of defense reactions. So maybe playing the 61 card special here is correct with what we're looking at. And then I think we can also just go ahead. Like, we probably want to run Tide Flippers. There's 19 blues in our deck. And I think Tunic is also going to give us a lot of value with the Art of War over Heart and Crossstrap. I think this will be more than like a 3. I think this will be like probably a 6 to 9 turn game if I had to guess. So I think we want the Tunic because we'll be able to get minimum 2, probably more like 3 or 4 uses out of it. And Heart and Crossstrap is really good when we're only like trying to like hard race. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. How scared are you of Pummels, though? So I am kind of scared of Pummels, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really know that I can afford to play around them. It's kind of like my thought process. That could just be completely incorrect thinking in my head. But my thought process is that I can't really afford to play around Pummels, so I shouldn't. I should just try to play my game plan and make it worth it here. But that, like, the Pummels do make value blocking a lot harder. And I do think that that's like something that Vincent does really well. Vincent uses Pummels really well to not really push through like these like really big like on hit effects or anything, but I think that like Vincent's able to like push through the big on hit effects because of like the Pummels help not push through the on hit effects. Pummels help help make your opponent play awkward hands because you're never ready for it, and I think that's like what Pummel really does for Vincent. So put a deck profile with a Fabulous Cyborg guide if you're interested in that. Ooh, Lord, thank you. I did not know that. That is definitely something I will be looking at because that is something I would like to know about for sure. Thank you for telling me about that. I will definitely be looking into that. So let's go, Kadachi. Let's throw the Surging Strike. It's on the Blue Pitch channel. Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I can look that up after this because I'd really like to know his Cyborg. It helped me a lot as far as like making decisions and like how the game is played. So that'll be really good to see that. I'm glad you pointed that out, man. I'll have to find that video after this and look at that. Thanks for telling me that. That'll help a lot. Also make the viewing experience a lot better for you guys. So I mean, though, if you put them on the back foot, Vincent has a hard time with 1 or 2 card hands. That is true. Vincent like can't like truly punish you with 1 or 2 card hands. Like, she's not very good at that. So this hand is like really good, but like we don't have a way to push through the Be Like Water, which means we don't really have a way to actually make this happen. So I think we're gonna take the 3 Rune Chants here. I think we're going to block 6 and then attack for 9 or attack for 7. I'm sorry. I think that's our play. If we take 3, go to 34, we're giving our opponent 2 Rune Chants, which is kind of unfortunate, but we're going to attack for 7. And then if we're able to like find an Art of War for next turn, we'll have our Tunic counter up and we'll be able to like use that as an attack reaction for the Be Like Water to be able to get as much value out of that as possible. I just think that that hand was a little short of being able to like make something great happen. Like it just seemed like we were like a blue short or something there. Like I don't know. Black Water's great, but like you really need like a ancestral empowerment or like an art of ward like really push through as the defense reaction or like as an attack reaction to like really help get the value there. Their hand must be absolutely atrocious if they're blocking with Crown of Providence this early. So they're definitely filtering here, looking for a good hand. I think our opponent's deciding on what to sink right here. While our opponent's taking that moment to sink, let's jump to another YouTube page. Oh. Okay. Nothing to Katsu there, so it's not going to give us that option. And then, I mean, I wouldn't call this hand great by any means, but if it's blue, create a rune chant. So it's a hold the line. Okay, so they banish a hold the line and then make a rune chant. Oh, so it's just banish the top card regardless. I thought I had to meet the criteria to banish it, but I've never actually read that card, so... Like, again, it just feels like we are just, like... one card away from making this, like, really good here, but I don't know, like... Maybe we can just make this hand good anyway without it and just kind of force it. Hey, Babusti. I like that name. That's cool. How are you, buddy? You doing all right this evening? So I think we lead on Kadachi's. I think Kadachi is the correct play here. And we're going to pitch Warmonger's Diplomacy, even though... Well, I guess I could just play the Warmonger's Diplomacy. I mean, I guess, like, if crap really hits the fan, I can just play Warmonger's Diplomacy. Which is, like, pretty good, I feel like. So... Let's go Kadachi. Surprised they blocked with the Shadow Puppetry as early as they did. I don't really think that it's right for them to just block the first Kadachi. You probably always want to block the second Kadachi. I don't know. I'm not a huge Vincent player though, so I can't really make too many if, ands, or buts about that. So okay. Why block 5 instead of just blocking 3? I mean, I guess if you're going to play around the empowerment here. Like, you're not playing around Razor with this hand, like, with that block, so I guess they're playing around empowerment. Like, which is fine. Like, you know, like, sometimes you just gotta play around stuff. Sometimes it's just how it is. I try to play around Katsu stuff as much as I possibly can. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not always a great possibility, so just kind of it is what it is, honestly. Tide Flippers is base power 2, right? Okay, so we can always give the Dishonor go again if I do decide to Arsenal it here. I mean... I feel like if I play the Warmonger's Diplomacy, I'm not getting a ton of value out of it, but I also think I just need to play it here. Like, I think just playing it is fine. Like, if we just play the Diplomacy, I think that's fine. I don't know. We might... Like, what? He has to actually pay 3 for this? So he's not playing this? Maybe I'm supposed to sit on this? I think I'd rather Arsenal the Dishonor. I don't know. I think I'd rather just Arsenal the Dishonor here. I think that's just what we're looking for at this point. He's probably just going to name... Oh, he's going to name Peace. We're going to choose War. And we're going to Arsenal our Dishonor here. Maybe I should have played it just to have one in my Banish Zone. I don't know. Now I don't have a turn starter. And that's like just super unfortunate for me. Like, I don't know. This is like tough because we don't really have a way to like give anything go again. Like this doesn't have go again. It has to actually get go again somehow. Oh, this is really awkward. Hey Blaze, nice being able to catch your stream. Hey Adya. Sorry, I said that wrong. How are you, buddy? I appreciate you coming by and hanging out, man. I appreciate you catching the stream and hanging out with us tonight. This is a reaction, so technically I can play it. Am I about to go Kadachi Dishonor here and then throw the Empowerment and this to like try and make something happen? It's like a crazy bad line for me. I could also just like... Shoo. Yeah, this is really weird. This is like one of the weirdest things I've ever done. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really know that this is correct, but we're about to just get in there and see what happens. Okay, so they make the smart block here, which makes this a lot worse for me. So actually what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to play the bonds here. Yeah, I can just play the bonds. And we'll just push 4 points of value here, keep the empowerment here in our hand, and try to set up for a better hand next turn. I don't know. Like, not having any natural go again is really awkward, and I don't really want to waste my tide flippers this early in the game, so... I don't know. I could definitely be convinced that there was a better line there. Wow, blocking with Spellbound Creepers. I do not think there's any world where that's correct. I just don't. Like, you have to do some pretty serious convincing for me to convince me that that's correct. Honestly, like, that's weird. So, I brought in Tide Flippers over Breeze Rider Boots to see if, like, that would be better. I'm not really sure if the Tide Flippers was the correct decision here, Adya. It could have been better just to have Breeze Rider Boots exactly for the reason that you're talking about there. But I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know if that was correct. You could convince me that it was incorrect to play the Tide Flippers here, honestly. That you wouldn't have to try too hard to convince me of that. I guess we're just gonna block 6. I don't know. I probably would have went Whelming on Chainlink 3 and try to hit with AE. AE. Not sure what you mean by AE. And use boots. Oh yeah, no boots. I mean, so yeah, boots would have made that like play like actually like pretty good there. Having boots that turn would have been very good for us. Like just as a whole would have been very solid. Are they creating Rune Chance with this? No. So we're just basically stopping them from getting any Rune Chance this way. That's a total win for us. We're kind of stopping it. Oh, Ancestral Empowerment. Oh, okay, gotcha. I played this match exactly once at Battle Hardened Rio, and I didn't AB a single time. Okay, so Lord has convinced me that it is absolutely correct to just not play AB into this matchup. I was debating before the game started if it was more correct to just not have Tide Flippers and just to play like go get you aggro style stuff and just try to run them over. And like you wouldn't have to try very hard to convince me that that was a correct decision. Just because like I like it's a lot better to put Vincent on the back foot than it is to like actually pitch resources for this. So did you go first or second here? I've been told that if you go first, keep the breezy. Odd, I went second. They picked. I was forced to go second. I would have loved to have went first in this matchup, actually. I pretty much always go first against Vincent, just because I like being able to. I just like being able to like not give them the setup turn on turn 0. So I will always pick to go first here if I can. So they banished the Putrid Strings and pass. That's interesting. A bit late, but wowza 5-1 Worlds, I'm still high. Mordecai, it was a really cool moment to see 5 win Worlds. I was honestly very taken back by that. That was a pretty cool moment. That was a pretty cool moment. loses abilities for the rest of the game. So this is just going to be a 0. Let's just lead on Surging Strike. I just think it's correct to just lead on Surging Strike. Wish we had the little buff here, but we don't, unfortunately. It was like Mordecai. It was really cool to see Fi win Worlds. I was really excited about that, and I really enjoyed watching the Fi gameplay in top 8. That was extremely high level gameplay, and Alex really knew his Fi list like very well. I have to say though, as somebody who likes Yukili Bender, like I think she's a really good player, and like I've just enjoyed watching her play Lexi. Basically since I started playing the game, it was a pretty tough break with the whole Blizzard play, to see her like, you know, like I kind of felt like her getting shafted a little bit, and like I know that like she didn't. The second blue is not uncommon, but it was interesting nonetheless, to see that whole thing play out. So let's come in for 4 here. So, I do have the Descendant Gust Wave because I'm pitching the Whelming Gust Wave. So if this hits, I can actually just I can discard the Fluster Fist for the Bonds of Ancestry here. I mean, I think I'm going to use this. I think this is a time worth using the Breaking Scales here. They may have another defense reaction. But if they do, I kind of think that's a small win for us, if I'm being honest. I think getting a defense reaction out of a Breaking Scales is like pretty solid when they've already given you a D-react there. So they could have a hold the line, which would be pretty good for them, I feel like. Probably better value than another blue would give them, than like it would get as just another blue in their hand. I don't know, like the whole Putrid Streams thing like is pretty good though. Okay, so they are going to just sink below here. So now that they've done that, we're not dishonoring this turn, so I guess we're just going to go Kadachi, and then I'm just going to throw the Fluster Fist for 4 and continue to put pressure on our opponent here. It's also kind of fun being back and playing cards after being gone for like what felt like forever. I had a really good like Thanksgiving, and I enjoyed hanging out with my in-laws. Like we always have a really good time, and they're board game fanatics, so we always have a great time, and I really enjoy playing board games with them. But I'm honestly like I'm super excited to like be back, and to be like just to be back and like playing cards and like back in the swing of things. And like, you know, Curly and I played some Fortnite and some Call of Duty last night, so it's fun to just be back in the swing of things and like to be playing on a more regular basis, I guess. This is a really interesting hand. I agree 100%. Kind of bittersweet though that Fi now has 700 LL points. Yeah, Mordecai, I get that, buddy. I get that. I think that's the downfall of watching your heroes win. Like watching your heroes that you love win events is like, it's really cool to like watch them win events, but after they do, you're like, wow, like that kind of sucks. Like I really wish that like, I like really wish they didn't have all these LL points, you know, like I completely get that. Because like 2 of my favorite heroes, Fi and Dash, have a lot of LL points right now, and that's a big sad for me because it means I'm just gonna have to play something else. So, so if I play the Blackwater, I can use the Artivore as a defense reaction, but it gives me the Artivore for banish and +1 banishing the Surging Strike, into hopefully finding another combo piece here so that we can try to make this happen. I think that's the correct line here, is to try and make that happen. Using your Artivore as an attack reaction, I think, is by far the most correct way to play Artivore in these style matchups. Personally. Let's go buff and banish. We'll banish the Surging Strike, and we find a Whelming Gust Wave, which means we could just get a Bonds here and play the Gust Wave for value, which is so good. Like, that's actually, like, insane value for us here. To just natty find the Gust Wave off the top is, like, so good. Yes, we're going to pay for the name. We're going to name Surging Strike. And then, I guess we're just going to go ahead and go get we're going to discard the Ancestral here to go get the Bonds. And then that way we'll just have that whole line of play set up, following this. So we'll discard the Ancestral. Bonds of Ancestry. And then Whelming Gustwave for 4 on hit draw card. For 5 because of the Art of War. Value. Every day. Food City. What's your stance on the current bans? Would you rather ban heroes like the system now, or would you prefer just banning power cards specific to a hero? So this is something that, like, I honestly, man, like, if I'm being honest, like, this conversation feels like it gets pretty political pretty quick amongst a lot of people. And I'm going to be honest, like, this isn't one of those things that I have, like, an, like, super strong opinion about. I love that Flesh and Blood is a non-rotating game. Like, as a whole, I love that Flesh and Blood is a non-rotating game. I guess we're just going to get Flusterfist here, right? Or is it correct to just get... Yeah, I think we just have to get Flusterfist here. So I really enjoy that Flesh and Blood is a non-rotating game. It's a non-rotating card game. One of the things that I enjoyed that I dislike the most about Magic is that if you were playing the most current format and you were playing Standard and you were playing things like that, you had to keep buying cards and you had to, like, you know, buying new sets and doing stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I understand that, like, to some extent, you have to do that in this game. Like, I get that. Like, it's impossible to, like, not do it at a certain level at a certain point in time. But I also really liked it. Like, Flesh and Blood's a non-rotating game. And I think that Flesh and Blood is still in its infancy. And I think that LSS is trying, like, they're doing their best, in my opinion. Like, you can tell that, like, James White and LSS loves this game. They truly care about it and they want it to succeed. And I think that they are doing their best to figure out the best way to say, hey, we're a business. We have to make money. We need to sell product. But at the same time, we want to keep our players happy. We want to keep, like, you know, the people that play this game and love this game. We want to keep them happy. So we want to keep the format fresh, but we also want to give them enough time to enjoy their heroes and to, like, play. I could have just won the game, right? Yeah, I totally could have just won the game. I'm such a boob. Like, I was ranting and I just missed that. I could have attacked for 3, Tide Flip Resist, and then attacked with the Flusterfist. Just me being a complete dodo head. Like, just making mistakes over here. But I honestly, Mordecai, I know that, like, I'm kind of, like, giving a politician's answer right now, which I don't. I wish I'm not super opinionated when it comes to things like this, because I genuinely believe that LSS is doing the best that they can right now. I think they are doing their best to give us what we want, and I think they're doing their best to, like, you know, keep the format fresh and to keep the game fresh. But I also think they're trying to figure it out. Like, I think they're still trying to figure it out. And I don't know that there's gonna be yeah. Like, and one of these days they'll figure it out and hopefully they find a way to keep everybody happy, but I think it's just gonna be a minute. Like, it's just, like, Flesh and Blood's such a young game, and, like, it's still in its infancy, in my opinion. You know, it's only, like, what, 4 years old, and so it's just gonna take a while for LSS to figure it out. And I know that this has turned into, like, a way longer rant than you probably thought it would, Mordecai. Sorry about that, man. But I just, LSS is doing what they can, and I'm just kind of along for the ride, enjoying the game and hanging out with the people that I like. So I don't really have a super strong positive or negative opinion about it, honestly. That game felt a lot better. I also think that, like, Katsu just puts on a lot of pressure, and it's tough for Vincent to keep up. So I think that has a lot to do with that there. Katsu, Talishar, Vin, Set. We went second. Win. Got ahead in the mid game with a good combo turn. Art of War turn to finish the game off. Okay, 1-1 on the night so far. Feels pretty good to be 1-1. I am like to get some wins. We like to get some wins. Okay, let's see. Bop 'em, Ben. That's right. Bop 'em. Absolutely. Let's find Pudding's deck list. Let's blue pitch Fab TCG. Let's see if that pulls them up. See if we can find their channel. Aha! I think this is the video. Remember to turn on subtitles as my English is not that good at all. That's funny. Appreciate his honesty, though. Oh, yeah. He's got all the matchups in here. My man. See, this is what I'm talking about. When somebody takes the time to put all of their like their matchups into a list and stuff like that, that is so cool. Like that takes a lot of time, and it takes it's not an easy thing to like sit down and do. So like I always have mad respect for people who sit down and take the time to put their deck lists out there and you know, like who put like all their matchups in. That's always really cool. Sorry, Ben, I missed a hydrate 8 minutes ago. Ben's trying to make sure that I stay hydrated here. Appreciate it. Ben's looking out for me. What is this? World's Tiger Katsu? Man, I can't believe he did it. Billy, get out of here, dude. You know better than that, dude. I was just happy that like Katsu top-8'd Worlds, honestly. Like, it's cool to see like a hero that like nobody was really talking about in like a major circle that I can think of anyway. So let's go. Lipe Lima. I hope I said that right. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you being here. What's your name? Where you from? And do you love Flesh and Blood? Tell me about yourself. Want to know how you found me, and I want to know if you love Flesh and Blood like I do. Billy, I would love to see Tiger Katsu win, man. Just for you, brother. Just for you, brother. I want to see it for you one time. It's so nice not to have to think about this. We're just going to click on Dory, and we took out Reinforced Alliance, we took out Blue Wind of Eternities, Blue Bonds, and the 100 Winds. Let's go. I'm taking Pudding's word for it here all the way this time. All the way. No, it's all good. Sorry for distracting you with that turn. No, Mordecai, dude, don't ever apologize, man, for asking questions, dude. I love when you guys are in here asking questions and stuff like that. Like, and it's like it's fun to like try and answer your all's questions and continue to play the game. Because it's not always easy for me to make sure that I'm making the correct decisions when it comes down to stuff like that. So, but no, man, that's an awesome question, and I appreciate you asking it, man. Absolutely, 100%. Who are you bringing for skirmish? So I'm probably looking at playing like Dash.io, something like that if I had to guess. I'm going to go ahead and turn the boots off here until we need it for something. Kadachi, E-Strike for 7. Put Bonds on the bottom. I kind of like that. We'll just try to push some damage here. I'm thinking about playing Plunder Run Fi in skirmish. Bravo is another hero that I'm looking at. Also considering playing Dash. One of the guys on my team, his name's also Zach, by the way. He had a really cool idea for a sweet Dash list. And wrong card to put on the bottom. And I'm like actually like really excited to like try it a little bit off stream. And like, you know, like try to play some Blitz and like, you know, like just like see how Blitz feels right now with everything going. So I'm not really sure 100% on what I'm bringing for a skirmish yet. But I know that I really like Plunder Run Fi in Blitz as a whole. That's just like kind of like my favorite thing to be doing, honestly. So it's probably what I'll look to be doing. You played in any skirmishes yet, Mordecai? Ooh. So, block 6. Block Lord of Winds, Fluster Fist, throw the Be Like Water, or I'm sorry, pitch the Be Like Water to play Surging Strike, Arsenal, Flick Flack. That's not bad, I feel like. The other option I have here is block Fluster Fist and Be Like Water and Breaking Scales. Pitch Lord of Wind to go Kadachi into Gust Wave, and then Arsenal to Flick Flack. I don't really want to give up my equipment block here. I don't really think that's where we want to be. I would still have one equipment block left, but I think I would rather just be in a spot where, I don't know, like pushing Kadachi's is pretty good, but we'll take the value block here, just block 6. set up the Flick Flack in our arsenal a little bit and try to get a better turn going here. Got a list for that Plunder Run Fi. So I haven't worked on it since last skirmish season. So I have a very outdated list. If you'd like to see it, I'd be more than happy to like try and find it in between games, and I can post it up. But it's been a long time since I've worked on it, so I don't really know if I still have it. At one point, I was trying to make Premeditate and Plunder Run work in Blitz Fi, and that just was a disaster. That like Premeditate is not a good Fi card. At least in my opinion. So I could probably try to find it though, if you wanted me to dig for it. But I'm gonna work on it off stream, and I'm gonna be posting videos. Like my videos this week on Wednesday and Saturday are gonna be Blitz gameplay and me like preparing for skirmish a little bit. So I was like, if you guys are interested in seeing what, having a stroke, what Plunder Run File looks like, keep an eye out. There'll probably be a video on it sometime this week that I'll post up. I'm very close now to having Riptide list done in paper, just needing 6 cards. I've been having a blast with it so far. Billy, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that you're having fun with it, man. I was like, having fun is like definitely one of the most important things when it comes to like playing cards, like by far, in my opinion. I am a big proponent of like having fun is the best way to do well at card games. To some extent, like I think at some point, like if you're like really looking to be competitive and grind, you kind of just have to strap up and be competitive. But that's just how it is sometimes. Hey, I assume that's Mordecai. I assume that's you, Mordecai. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you hopping over on Twitch and follow me. Means a lot. I appreciate it. If I just give the... So if I go Dishonor and Flick Flack here, if I go Dishonor and Flick Flack, I'm playing around a 0 for 3. And then I get to go Kodachi, Command and Conquer, which is like not a bad play, I feel like. So kind of okay with setting that up a little bit that way. I was planning on playing Kano, but my only skirmish is still on the 10th, and it's too late to play Kano. Ooh, I'm sorry, man. That's tough. I was like, yeah, I think Trent was telling me that Kano is going to be gone by then, so sorry to hear that, man. I know that's probably like really disappointing to like hear that kind of stuff, so I'm sorry, man. I do think that the weekly like update bans are like a pretty cool thing that they've added to like the game as a whole. Like I think that's a more positive thing than a negative thing personally. But that's just me. Okay. So they get a counter, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. Hell yeah, multi-stream support. Brother, I appreciate it, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. I think I still want to go Kodachi, Command and Conquer here. Just to like see I think going Kodachi, Command and Conquer like gives me the like best chance of like hitting with Command and Conquer. Like makes their hand a little bit awkward. So that they can so that hopefully we can try to push Mask here, or maybe make their hand a little bit awkward so they can have an off turn with the Dawn Blade since it's already accumulated 1 counter. Oh, let's go. Zach, ever the hero over here, helping people finish off their decks, man. You love to see it. You love to see it. It's such a waste to pitch this to throw this, but I think I'm still going to throw it just because it's a 2 for 6 here, and it lets me get a little bit more aggressive. We also have like 3 combo cards in our graveyard, so if we ever do find our bigger turn, we can definitely like we ever find our bigger turn, we can definitely like start to. We have some good combo cards in our graveyard to be able to like push the turns and get aggressive if we need to. This hand does not block well. I mean, we could give Soul Beat Strike, E-Strike, and Breaking Scales here, but I think we're better off to just take 7 and like play offense here. I don't know. I can agree with that. It leads to an easier positive game experience. Yeah, Trent, I completely agree, man. I think that you're getting like an overall better experience, not only as an experienced player, but as a new player. Because as an experienced player, it keeps you on your toes and you're ever evolving to the metagame, which I actually really enjoy. But as a new player, you are getting to experience like also an ever evolving game. So like you get to pick up a hero that you know is going to be fresh, that you know isn't about to hit LL or like something crazy like that. I mean, it could be about to hit LL, but I feel like the chances of that happening are way less likely if you're picking up a game where we're having weekly checks and updates. Personally, that's just personally how I feel about it. Just missing Majestics now. I'll send it to you. Yeah, dude, Zach over there. Good guy Zach at it again, man. He strikes again. Good guy Zach helping people finish out their decks. See, like, again, like right there, like, again, like I know it's like 2 local people that like I know and I'm friends with, like Billy and Zach, but like again, it's just 2 people like just helping each other out in the community. And like, yeah, it just, I don't know, like Flesh and Blood just has such an awesome community. I will never not preach this. I will never not preach this to people. So our opponent takes 4, goes to 28. No, we're not going to use Katsu's ability. And then I guess I'm just gonna, man, I feel like, I mean, I guess that's why I have Cross Trap. This kind of hand is exactly why I have Cross Trap. Holy God, this hand is why they make me cry. I don't like this at all. I mean, I guess I could just block with Command and Conquer and Breeze Rider boots. And just force them to have it. Okay, that's tough. That's a tough scene, as they say. Who'd be saying that? Me. I'd be saying that. We'll just take 4 here. Not happy about it, but I think we're just gonna take it here. So break Cross Trap. Hopefully they get greedy here and give me like a card and like Courage here or like Brave Forge Bracers. Hopefully they don't block for 6, because if they block for 5, we're just going to be able to get them here, which is going to feel really good. And the Dishonor won't hit, but being able to like hit them with a Dishonor would be very good for us. Yeah, let's use Katsu's ability. I think we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the Be Like Water. We will get a Descendant Gustwave. I think Descendant Gustwave is the best card because it allows us to turn on our Dishonor, which is like really good for us. Descendant Gustwave, a 0 for 5 with Go Again. Pump it up, pump the jam, keep that beat pumping. I don't even know the last words to that song I just sang. I just know the pump it up, pump the jam part. It's like a dance party song, I feel like. Also, if my cord to my mic does not learn to stay on the outside of my shirt collar, I'm gonna like have a stroke. Good Lord. Yes. Yes, I love it when a plan comes together. Yes. I love it when a plan comes together. Whew, we might be doing it right here. Dishonoring Dory is pretty good here. Like, means to hit us a second time, they have to have Twinning Blade. Like, how good is that for us? Okay. I mean, that's fine. Like, we don't need this to hit. I mean, I guess I could push this here. What's better, drawing a card or trying to get the Dishonor? Drawing a card or trying to get the Dishonor? Let's see if we can get a card. Let's see if we can draw a card here with the breaking scales. I mean, yeah. God, get greedy and give me equipment, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Hey, Tonix, I hope I'm saying that right. 99. How are you? And what were you saying, the Dishonor? Were you saying to hold the empowerment for the Dishonor as opposed to playing the breaking scales here on this in case they decided to give me a 3-block and a piece of equipment? If that's what you were saying, then like I can definitely understand that line of thought. Like, I don't think that's incorrect at all. I just wanted the value of like trying to draw a card. But I guess the empowerment's going to draw us a card either way. So I'm probably supposed to just like be okay with arsenaling whatever I draw here. Yeah, they're definitely playing around this pretty well, which like I think is a good play. Like, we're not really going to get a ton of value out of that. Let's just go ahead and block 9. We'll play the whole... Wow. Another Twinning Blade? Wow. I'd use Empower and Breaking on Dishonor in case they block 5. Yeah, so I like the way they blocked, like it, like, you know, like hindsight's 2020 obviously, but like the way they blocked, like definitely make sure like, so the way they blocked doesn't help us with that, but I like your idea there because I think the idea of what you're trying to do is like a lot better because they're more likely to give us a card and to block here to play around the breaking scales so that we can also empower that and breaking scales that in the same turn. I could just block 5 and give up my mask here. I don't think that's where we want to be at though. Let's block 3 and take 2. Like, I think like keeping the little bit of a life lead that I have here is better and hoping for a better hand this time around. Like, because I mean, this hand's pretty good. Yeah, like this hand's like not bad here. Like, I don't hate this hand at all. This hand has some play to it. We can like try to make something happen here. Now, this hand's not really looking to block. So this is coming in for 5. No, I'm sorry, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I just say no blocks and go to 14, we can try to like swing tempo because we can use the boots here and try to make something happen. Okay, so let's try to map out my turn here to see what makes the most sense. We're going to be pitching the diplomacy. We play bonds. We play bonds. Use empowerment to try and give it go again here on the boots. And then from there, if we get go again, we're looking at break the boots, gust wave for 2 into another bonds. But if this hits, we're going to have to discard something, which means I can go get a red gust wave. Actually, I could just get a descendant gust wave because I'll have one floating. So descendant gust wave from our deck, which is fine. We get a descendant gust wave from our deck. Come in for 3, push the bonds, and then from there we get to go get a fluster fist, depending on whatever we have in our hand. So if I take 6 and go to 8, like that's all dependent upon me trying to make that happen. And I guess the question I have to be willing to ask myself is that worth it? Or am I better off just to block 9 here? I think I should block 6. I think we don't want to give up the second counter here, so we just want to block 6. I don't know. This is an interesting decision point here in this game on how we think our opponent's going to block. I could also just play Warmonger's Diplomacy and hope that they have multiple actions in their hand and try to get value off of doing something like that. I could have kept the Gust Wave and hope they gave us equipment and tried to push through the on-hit of the Empowerment and the Mask on the same turn. Like, I don't really want to empowerment this or like boots this because we're not going to be able to do anything after. Like, the empowerment could draw us into like a 0-cost card, and then like we could potentially go get a, I don't know, like I guess if like we drew into a 0-cost card, we could break to give go again and then go get a Breeze Rider Boots, or not a Breeze Rider Boots, a Fluster Fist, and try to push through 4 extra points of damage. But I think we're better off just letting our opponent go to 12 and hoping that our next hand is like pretty solid here. I mean, it feels like this hand is as good as it's going to get. Precision Press says it gets go again and piercing 1. We're not blocking with equipment. I mean, I'm basically at this point, I'm just going to force him to like kill me here. Like, this hand is really good. So this is coming in for 6 by itself. If they have to have a reprise card to kill us here. Like, this is an action. These are actions. I think I have to say no blocks and go to 3 here. I think we have to get a little aggressive and hope that they don't have a pump here. I could give away my Mask if I wanted, but I mean, they're at 12. They're not really going to let Mask hit anyway. Let's just go ahead and give Mask. We'll just stay at 5 this way. And then they're going to rack up an extra counter because we let this hit this turn. I'm going to use the Art of War as a reaction here. So we're just going to pitch the Dishonor and see if we can make something happen. I'm going to do my best to try and get this to hit. And hopefully our empowerment draws us into something pretty good here. Dory and Ninja, like Dory's versus Ninja is like such an interesting matchup. In my opinion, because like there's just, in my opinion, there's so much intricacy to it. Like Ninja is like one of those matchups where Dory kind of like thrives, in my opinion. Like, she has a really good shot at like actually getting ahead and like putting you on the back foot and making your hands like really like awkward, because like the counters just start to accumulate and it's so tough to come back into the game once the counters start stacking up here. Also, our opponent also has like 4 equipment block left, which is like very obnoxious to me. I'm not a huge fan of that. So I guess I just want to go ahead and play the empowerment. I want to get the extra card here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go buff and banish. I'm going to banish the Gust Wave here, which, again, I don't know if that's correct or not, but it's definitely the decision I'm making. Yes, we're going to crack Breeze Rider Boots. Yes, we're going to use Katsu's ability. We're going to discard Lord of Wind. We're going to get a Bonds of Ancestry. So Bonds is banished. Gust Wave is for 6. Our opponent's at 5 now, and we have 6, 5 more, and then 5 more after this, which is a pretty good turn all the way. Or I'm sorry, we actually have more because we're actually going to be able to go get a Dishonor here, unless I've miscounted. There's 2 Dishonors over here. How many Dishonors do we have here? Are there any here? No, there is one there. That's no, there's only 1 Dishonor there because we played one. So I think this leaves us in an okay spot. No Dishonor in deck since pitch. Oh, it's right there. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. So the Dishonor gets turned off, which is like kind of a big sad here. Fluster Fist is looking like our next best option here. We can go get a red Fluster Fist, which is a 0 for 5. Lord of Wind is a 0 for 3, does nothing for us. We don't have any resources floating, so we're like I guess we can't get the Mugenshi release anyway. The Bonds doesn't do anything for us. Fluster Fist is just our best option here. They have to block this, and honestly, I think they're just dead if I counted correctly here. Our big turn came exactly when we needed it to. Tone, good call, Tone. I would have completely just went for the Dishonor play. So thank you for catching that. And then I would have been big sad when I realized that there was not a Dishonor in our deck. So good catch. You just saved me from making a very bad mistake there. Think our opponent's thinking here. I'm going to refresh just in case like it's me lagging or something. No, okay, it's just my opponent thinking, which is perfectly fine. Like, I understand. Okay, sink below from Arsenal, so maybe they're not dead here. We have this Fluster Fist here, because they don't know we have a Fluster Fist in our hand. So they could be thinking that it's a card they do not have to... They may be thinking it's a card they don't have to like actually block or something, although they're probably planning for the worst case scenario if I had to guess. I would be planning for the worst case scenario in this moment. They're going to block 3, take 2, go to 2. And then we're going to come in for 5 more. I guess technically they can block 3 and block the Courage and go to 1 and then attack me for 6. Force a card out of my hand. No, okay, they're going to block for 6. I guess they could... Ah, okay, I see what they're doing here. They break Bolters to give go again, and then they attack me again, so I have to block 6. Man, that's really unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate right here. Man, if they didn't have that sink below, they were, like, super dead. Let's just block 6 here. We'll attack with Black Water. They'll give us a 3 block, and then I'm a little afraid we're going to lose this game. We might not, though. We might not. It all depends on what their hand looks like. My jeans are riding up my legs. So throwing the Kodachi does nothing for us here, so we're better off just to Arsenal this and try to get value out of it. I mean, I say throwing the Kodachi does nothing for us there. Like, obviously, the Kodachi does something for us. I just don't think it's that good, personally, in this spot. I think we're just going to block 6 with this hand. And hope they don't have a Singing Blade, a Singing Steel Blade, which they've played 2 of, and they've played 2 Twinning Blades. So we're going to hope that they don't have one of those 2 cards left in their deck. because Twinning Blade is really bad for us at this spot. And I think we're forced to block 3. Or I think we're forced to block 6 here. How do we like the Katsu list? Is this a good place for me to start Katsu? So Ahmad, I hope I'm saying that right, Ahmad. I really like this list so far. Like, it feels pretty solid. Like, this is like game 3 total games on this list for me, but it feels pretty good so far. I think I found Pudding's actual list with all of his sideboard guide and stuff like that. And that's like this is our first game with that actual list, and so I mean, it feels pretty good so far, though. I would definitely recommend, if you're going to start like trying to build a Katsu list, then this is a good place to start for sure. Man, this is a tough spot. This is a tough spot. So if I block 3 and he has 1 pump, I'm okay. If I block 3, if he has a Twinning Blade, so if he has a Twinning Blade or a Singing Still Blade, I don't think I'm winning here ever. Like, I don't think I can win. So I think I just have to block 6, hope it's not one of those cards, and then go Kodachi, Surging Strike into Gust Wave. I think this just has to be the play. And if it's Twinning Blade or... actually, if it's Twinning Blade here, like if it's specifically Twinning Blade, I'm actually okay to just keep my hand. That is tough. I don't think I'm in a situation to play around a reprise card, though. Is this Command and Conquer? They do randomly play attacks. I was like, and them having attack here would be very bad for us. So I'm really hoping they just didn't draw a defense reaction right there. There's still 1 Sink Below in their deck, but I imagine they have one in their hand, honestly. So this gets 1 card, maybe 2 if they don't have a defense reaction. If they don't have a defense reaction here, then we probably just win the game. Without them having courage left to block with, we probably just win the game on the spot. There is an ad break on Twitch right now, so I'm going to try not to let anything too interesting happening for the people watching on Twitch. Try not to let things get too crazy when people are watching on Twitch. So I'm gonna wait a couple seconds here before I pass to the rest of my turn. I have to run ads on Twitch, being a part of the affiliate program, so I run them as minimally as possible because I like for people to be able to watch the gameplay. So, all right, ad break's over. Our opponent blocks 6 here. They have no defense reaction. And then we're going to attack for 5 right here, which is really good because I think it's going to get the last 2 cards out of my opponent's hand. And then from here, if we're able to keep our entire hand, like, we're just going to be in a winning spot because of the Kodachis. One thing that I guess I could try to play around is the idea that they have Steel Blade Shunt, but I don't really think that's something that we can like play around, if I'm being honest. I guess let's just lead on Surging Strike, and then we'll play the Kodachi, because, man, if we lose to a Steel Blade Shunt, I would be big sad. Big sad. All right, no, they're at 1, not us. I'm an idiot. Never mind. I'm playing around something that doesn't matter. Never mind. Ignore me. Kodachi, give me a card. I want your cards off Metacarpus node. Doesn't have the same effect when you're having to say like their weird full gamer tag thing. Really hope this isn't a defense reaction. I played very lazy there instead of actually pitching the Art of War for the Kodachi. That would have technically have been the correct play in that spot, is to pitch the Art of War for the Kodachi and then throw the Fluster Fist. Because if they don't have a defense reaction in their hand there, obviously, then they're dead on the spot to that play. And setting up the Art of War when we're at 5 isn't really a huge concern because our opponent's at 1. And if our opponent's at 1, Kodachis will inevitably win the game for us. So, Katsu and Dory is always a nail biter. Steel Blade Shunt for 5 damage would be pretty decent. I mean, listen, dude, I'm playing around cards that don't even exist yet. Y'all don't even know. y'all don't even know what LSS is cooking up here, and clearly I've got the insider tips. Steel Blade Chunk that deals 5 damage. Dude, there'd have to be like a non-warrior format to get me to play this game if that happened. Won a close one. Big Art of War combo turn came on turn 4 to 5. Last turn before I had to start blocking. All right. 2-1, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about the list. It's looking pretty solid here, so let's keep rolling. I was like, let's keep going. Only been streaming about an hour and a half now, so we definitely got some more games in us this evening. Plus, I'm working from home tomorrow, which means I get to sleep in just a little bit longer, which is nice. Anytime I actually have to get up and go to the office, I have to get up around like 7 or 7:15 so I can take a shower and get to the office on time. But if I'm working from home, I just kind of like roll out of bed around 8 o'clock and fire up my laptop and start playing. I guess against Bolton, I want to go second. I think that would be like the... oh man, Bolton's not even in here. I guess we're just going to click on Dory. I guess Dory's like virtually the same matchup. Not really, but kind of. This is probably like combo Bolton too. Ugh. So we'll see what happens. I'm sorry, what? When this defends together with a card from hand, this gets +1 until end of turn, and it has Temper. So what are they playing? Like mild combo? Like what is this? They're playing 1 Centauri Saber and 1 Bastion of Unity. Is this some tech I haven't seen? Is everybody aware of this tech except for me? Am I in the dark right now? Because that does happen from time to time. I have been completely and utterly away from Flesh and Blood for a week now. Which is like, I don't spend that much time away from the game, but like holidays and stuff, like I really make time to like set the game apart and like make sure that I am you know, like spending time with Carly and like our families and stuff like that. So Bolton is like fatigue. Never seen Bolton with shield. Yeah, I mean, it could be fatigue Bolton. It could be. And they could just be playing the one of Centauri Saber as like a mini combo here. Like that definitely could be their play here. If they're fatiguing us, I don't think that's going to work out very well for them. I'm sorry. Did you just say scar for a scar, sir? Sir? Sir. Okay. What is happening here? I guess let's block with the I mean, I like to keep that in my deck for the combo turn if it ever comes up. Let's block with the Diplomacy here. Probably our best card to block with. And then this is the old 1-for-4 that goes to our Hero's Soul. They have not charged a card this turn, so let's go Release and Breaking Scales. Yeah, I mean, Mogichi Release, like, not a big shot of it ever, like, having, like a crazy, insane turn for us, but, I mean, I guess anything's possible. So we're gonna go Kodachi. They're just gonna take the Kodachis, like, over and over again, I guess. So we're just gonna go Kodachi Command and Conquer, and then I'm just gonna Arsenal the Soulbeat Strike, because the Soulbeat Strike could be, like, a solid chain ender for us. But it could also have a, it could also be like on a turn where our opponent like doesn't want to block. And if we start to like kind of sense that out a little bit, then I will start to play that way. Okay, so let's make sure I'm not being a complete boob here, but this feels like a take 7 kind of hand. Yeah, I think this is a take 7 kind of hand. I think we're just going to play the Surging Strike. I hope they block for 5. And then kind of go from there. Because we'll definitely play the Art of War as a reaction here, which would be... that, like, I think this is like definitely like an Art of War reaction matchup, especially with the shield and the way they're playing. I also think it's like... Okay, so because it's blocking with a card from hand, because it has Unity, and now we're gonna go buff and banish. I could go buff and my next thing gets go again. No, I need to go buff and banish here. Yes, let's use Katsu's ability. We'll discard the Be Like Water, and we'll go get a Whelming Gust Wave. Yeah, we'll go get a Whelming Gust Wave. Seems not too shabby. Come in for 5, go again with the old Art of War here. And depending on how they block, we'll use the Breaking Scales. Looks like they're going to play around the Breaking Scales. Okay, they are. And then we'll attack for 5 with the Soul Bead Strike. See if they want to give us the Warband of Bologna here. Yep. Seems like a good play for them. So Art of War ended up being a 1 for 3, which is really kind of disappointing. But I mean, it's not terrible, I guess. Okay, so this is a hand that feels like we can make something happen here. Like, just from looking at it, this feels like a hand that, like, we could really try to use Art of War with. But at the same time, like, we don't play head jabs. Like, we don't play a lot of just, like, value-oriented cards. So maybe this is a block 3. If I block 3 here on the yellow Fluster Fist, my hand can be Kodachi into play the Fluster Fist here. And then I can arsenal my Art of War, keep the empowerment in my hand, and try to like really kind of like go off a little bit here. I think that's like a perfectly reasonable play. Try to take my bigger turns when they come up. We also have Heart and Cross Trap up if we need it for anything. It's also worth noting that it could be correct to just pitch the Ancestral Empowerment here instead of keeping it in our hand. A lot of times, Flesh and Blood is a game that's designed to use your cards as efficiently as possible every single turn of the game. And so when you start making plays that like where you keep cards in hand, it gives you like a very awkward like turn. Like it just gives you very awkward like hand cycles. So okay. I mean, yeah, like I guess if they're just gonna do this, we're just gonna keep it and just keep playing our hand here. Just kind of like interesting to like think about. I'm assuming they have some kind of combo piece or something here. Yeah, I'm assuming they have something here. Like assuming here. Let's go ahead. Bolt of Courage is the one that if they charge, they draw a card. I mean, like, they probably have, like, the buff here. They charged a Nimbulism. I'm just going to say no blocks and see if they snap it here. See if they have, like, are they playing Razor? Oh, they have an Art of War. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, what did they pick? +1 and Banish. They undid their last action. I mean... And they banish Celestial Cataclysm, and then they're going to use Bolton to give go again here. Okay. Draw a card, go back up to 4 cards. So they've dealt 4 damage, given all their cards +1 here, and now like we're just in this like weird spot. This is like not that great for us. I think I'm okay just blocking 4 here, forcing them to like have another pump or something here. I don't really want to give them an extra card. And the Ancestral Empowerment pretty much just allows us to like have the extra card for free. Yeah. We'll just block 5 here. Yellow Snatch is interesting. Okay, so they have something else they want to play. Is this a red Snatch now? Okay, so just Engulfing Light, which is just 4. Like, or... So if it hits, it goes to their soul. I mean, yeah, like I can only stop so much of what they're trying to accomplish this turn. And then we're just gonna throw the Kodachi here for 1. Like not a good turn cycle for us. That's definitely a turn cycle that benefited them way more than it did us. Hopefully their hand is a little awkward here. God, what is this? I mean, like, again, if this hand had like a Surging Strike or something in it, this would be a perfectly fine hand, but it does not. I kind of just want to block Bonds and Fluster Fist here, throw the Soul Bead Strike, and then have the Empowerment. Because they're pretty tempted to, like, they're probably pretty tempted. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know if they're tempted to give us anything here or not. Let's freaking... And then I guess they'll come in with the Centauri Saber. Yo, Rob Zombie 8. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate you being a part of the stream. What's your name? Where are you from? And do you love Flesh and Blood? Tell me a little bit about yourself. So we go to 20 here. Our opponent sets up an arsenal. And then I'm going to throw the Soul Bead Strike. And we'll see if we can debate them into letting the Ancestral Empowerment do some work here for us. Even if they block 6, I might just play the Empowerment to see what I draw here. I mean, I guess like it's that or the next card, so it's probably just worth hanging on to. Actually, I don't know. That's a tough call to make. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know what the right decision is on this specifically, like if they did decide to block or not. I mean, yeah, let's just play it, I guess. Like, they could have a Soul Shield, and if they do, like, big womps for us, but it is what it is. We have 2 red Fluster Fists over here and a yellow one. I guess I can just go get a red Fluster Fist here. And just tack on 4 extra points here to my turn. Which is, like, not bad. Like, we're just using the blue Whelming Gust Wave we drew as a way to, as to get 4 extra points across the board here. So, like, they kept their hand, which is a little frightening. We haven't really had a good Art of War hand yet. This is definitely one of those good Art of War hands. Okay, so they have a buff of some variety here. So I think I'm just going to have to say no blocks and just take my big Art of War turn and hope it's good enough. I think that's just where we're going to have to be. They played 2 Art of Wars? Boo, his opponent. Hello? Yep, big Fab fan? Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. Are you a Katsu fan, or are you just a Flesh and Blood fan in general? So... Oh... I mean, yeah, we're going to go to 15, and they're still going to have 4 cards. I'm just... if I'm just being honest, I'm really hoping that they can't punish us a ton here. Like, I'm kind of hoping that they have one of those Bolton hands that, like, is, like, charge a card and, like, not really do a lot. I'm gonna go... Well, no, oh, dude, this is so bad for us. So this is automatically gonna be for 3 on hit draw card. Yeah, I mean, I hate it, but I think we're just going to 12 and giving them another card. God, that's 2 cards we let them draw on. It's so bad. I don't think it's right, but man, this is such a good hand, and I have to have a good hand before it's too late. Okay, that's kind of good for us, honestly. If they're doing this to, like, try and make something happen here, then, like, we're in a pretty good spot. They're naming Buff and Go Again. Sheesh. Sir Midnight. Hey, how's it going? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you? Welcome to the stream, and thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. I have absolutely no idea why our opponent conceded there. I was actually very intrigued. They were trying to play... Or they were trying to play an Art of War? Wow. Okay, really bad hands for our opponents there. For our opponent there. So, kind of feel bad for them. A little bit of bad beats there, but... Also think our hand was going to be really good and was probably going to give us tempo. So, was really looking forward to playing that hand out. Katsu, Talishar, we played against a Bolton. We went first into Bolton. Win. Opponent conceded on turn 6. I was going to go to 3 to 5 life to have a big Art of War combo turn. Think it would have been good enough, but not sure. Okay, cool. So logging in our notes there, what happened in that game, how I feel like it would have ended out if we'd have kept playing it out. So as a new player, the generics and the class staples is kind of on the pricey side. Do I need those just to go to armories? So a mod, absolutely not, man. Like if you're gonna play at armories, brother, you absolutely don't need like Command and Conquerors, E-Strikes, like you know, like all the pricey, like, you know, generic cards that are like super expensive to get into the game. You don't have to have those. I played for a solid month, even as competitive as I am before I bought Command and Conquerors. So yeah, you absolutely don't need those to like compete in armories and stuff like that. Now, depending on where you play, you may have some of the best players in the world at your armory. So that's also something to take into account as far as things like that are concerned. So, but yeah, you definitely don't need that kind of stuff to compete at armories, man. Absolutely not. When you get to the ProQuest level, calling level, like Road to Nationals level, like that's where you really start to need those cards, and you'll see that those, like the percentage points that those big expensive cards make up for, that's where you'll start to see wins and losses at that high level at. Good question, man. Dromai main, haven't played much Ninja. Oh, that's cool, Rob. That's cool, man. So I'm going to be honest, I played a little bit of Dromai a couple weeks ago, and I really like Dromai, and I think that Dromai gives your opponents I think Dromai presents your opponents with the biggest opportunities to make mistakes, and I think that's one of Dromai's biggest pulls, and one of the things that makes her like one of the strongest heroes in CC right now, especially with Icelander gone now. I think Dromai just gets more points, personally. Good. I'm quite new to Fab. Well, dude, Midnight, welcome to Fab, man. Welcome to the game. The community is awesome. I'm sure that people that watch my streams get tired of hearing me say that. I say it so often. I love everybody that plays Flesh and Blood. The Flesh and Blood community is awesome, and I appreciate you coming by and watching me stream, man. There's a lot of great Flesh and Blood content creators that you could watch out there, and so it means a lot that you came by and spent some time with me while I'm streaming and playing some cards, man. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Welcome to Flesh and Blood, man, and I hope you love it. I have fallen in love with this game from day one, and I'll probably be playing it as long as the game is around. So I will be playing it for a long time, I would dare say. So, but yeah, no, man, welcome to Flesh and Blood, man. That's awesome. Freaking go. You love to see it. Yo, Midnight, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you being a part of the stream. Tell me about yourself, man. Where are you from? And you just told me you were new to Flesh and Blood. How did you get into Flesh and Blood? Answer that one. That's a new one. Freaking go. You love to see. Dude, follows are coming off the thing right now on Twitch. Let's go. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the love. Tonex99, thank you for the follow, man. I saw you talking in the chat earlier, dude. Tell me about yourself, man. Where you from? Do you love Flesh and Blood? And what got you into Flesh and Blood? Since you guys obviously like Flesh and Blood, maybe the question should be what got you into Flesh and Blood, not do you love Flesh and Blood? Maybe that should be my question. Well, we might take a poll on that in a couple minutes and see. So we might take a poll on that. And King Babar 2, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you being here. What's your name? Tell me about yourself. And what got you into Flesh and Blood? We're already taking a step in a new direction. What got you into Flesh and Blood? So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody being here and being a part of the stream. It means a lot. I love hanging out with you guys and streaming. It's a lot of fun. So thanks everybody for being here. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, wherever you're watching at, just know that I love hanging out with you guys no matter where you watch at. The views are much appreciated. How do I know what to sub in? Ahmad, buddy, that is a question that if you want to know what to sub in, my advice to you would be to find somebody who has done a deck tech on a deck that you're trying to play. Like the Katsu deck is a great example of that. Like the one that I'm playing tonight. I went and found Pudding's video. You can find it on YouTube, by the way, Ahmad. It's under, they're called Blue Pitch. I literally typed in blue space pitch space fab TCG, and like the third video that pops up on YouTube is Pudding's actual like deck tech, and it has his deck leak in there, and it gives you his sideboard guide. And one of the best places that you can start is taking someone's sideboard guide and taking that and looking at all the cards and going, why do they want these cards in this matchup? Like, why does he want Command and Conquer in this matchup but not in this matchup? And it's something like that to just go through and consider and think about. And once you start to like ask yourself those questions and start to like, watch some videos and try to get some insight into other people's ideas and thoughts, you'll start to get your own ideas and concepts that you'll also form off of your own games and opinions. And you'll take that and you'll run into your own deck list with it. And it'll give you an idea of what to sideboard and where to sideboard at. So Ahmad's asking really great questions, dude. He's all over it. All over it. Young, game good. Game much good. Indeed, sir. Game much good. Kyle with the lurk. What's going on, brother? How are you, man? I was like, well, hey, I missed you guys last night. We played some Call of Duty, man, and I figured you and Allie to get on and play last night, but I never saw you guys get on last night, man. Did you guys hang out with your parents for a while last night? From Norway, watched some videos talking about the game around Tales of Aria time and played it since. Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, dude. I get that, dude. I was like, I started playing around Everfest. Everfest had been out like a couple weeks when I started playing. I started playing in like February of 2022. So I get it, man. It's a very easy. It's very easy to fall in love with Flesh and Blood, dude. Absolutely, 100%. Fell out of love for Yu-Gi-Oh! And moved to a town that they play Fab, so decided to give it a go. Only played Blitz so far, but quite enjoy it. Well, dude, Midnight, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. It's a great game, dude, and I love Flesh and Blood. It's a blast, man. Like, from playing with the team to playing with friends to, like, you know, like, to all the friends I've made playing Flesh and Blood, like, all over the country, and, like, even with just a few hours of us, like, it's, you know, I've made friends that I feel like I'll be friends with outside of Flesh and Blood years from now. You know, it's not just cards, and I really love that, the personal connections and things like that. It's a lot of fun to meet those and, you know, go out and have dinner and see everybody. Like, it, you know, it can be busy and it can be a lot sometimes, but it's a lot of fun, and it's memories that I'll keep for the rest of my life. And I'm sure Carly will get tired of me telling her the same stories for the next 40 years. For anybody who doesn't know, Carly's my fiance, and I bog her down with all of my Flesh and Blood stories because she's the best fiance ever. Plug Carly. Plug Carly. Thanks. Kind of hard to justify big purchases when I just started. Ahmad, I completely understand, man. I completely understand. It's tough to know. It's tough to, you know, like, know when you should buy cards and when you shouldn't. I completely get it. I completely get it, dude. It's tough. And it's something that I would not encourage you to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on when you just get into the game. I would encourage you to spend at least a few weeks, maybe a month playing the game and seeing if you really like it, because it's a long-term investment, you know, and you got to make sure that you like the game and that you like, you know, the cards, and like that you feel like spending the money on it, because at the end of the day, cards is a blast and I love cards, but it's a hobby. You know, so I've never spent money I didn't have on cards. And I think that's something that a lot of, like, some people just don't understand. And I think it's very important to know that, like, you know, it's a hobby. And if you play the game for a while and, like, you really like it, then you should get into it. The best example I can give you is golf. I love golf. I play golf, like, you know, probably 10, 20 times a year with my dad, my brother, and Carly. Like, we all go play. And I did not buy a set of golf clubs until I'd been playing golf like 6 months, because I was borrowing a set of my buddy's clubs, and golf clubs are expensive. So I wanted to make sure I liked it before I actually bought golf clubs. So that's the best example I can give you. Yo, Sax, what's going on, man? I keep seeing you stream Call of Duty, man. I was like, every time I see you, dude, like, I'm like getting up to go to work and stuff, man, like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I see you grinding, brother. I see you grinding out there on Kick, man. Playing Call of Duty, man. I love it. I was like, dude, it's so early. I don't really like watch streams that early, man. Or I'd be in your stream like every day, like hanging out. I was like, I love watching people play Call of Duty and stuff like that, man. Like, it's a big kick for me. I was like, the grind is real, brother. I see you grinding all the time, man, and that's what it's about. It's about having fun and playing games and having a good time and being consistent, honestly. And yeah, man, you're welcome. Absolutely, man. How deep are you in golfing hobby already? That's a great question. I bought a set of irons for like $400 used like last year, I think. Maybe 2 years ago. I've been playing golf for about 3 years now, and I'm still just as bad as I was when I started 3 years ago, it seems like. But I mean, on my clubs alone, I probably spent like $700-800, honestly. I wanted to buy some good clubs, so I felt like I'd keep for the next, 10, 15 years and play for a long time. So, but if you're counting the money that I've spent to go play golf, brother, I don't want to talk about it, because there's so much money between Flesh and Blood and golf, man. I've spent more money in the last 3 years than I care to admit. I'm just being honest. I'm being completely honest. But hobbies are hobbies, and that's what they're there for, man. Like, I have different hobbies to, like, hang out with different people and, like, like just kind of like experience different sides of life, I feel like. So I think against Dory, we're going to go second this time. We did not have that ability last time. Hopefully we can win this one again. We're going to run back the Dory sideboard guide here, where we play our 60 cards strong. And we're just gonna run it back here from the last time we played it. This might also be the same person we played. I truly can't remember. So we're playing Katsu, we're playing on Talishar, we're playing against Dorinthia, and we are going second this time. 3-1 so far. Prill's pretty good tonight. Pretty good. I think this is like an easy Soul Bead strike block. What the heck? Blossom of Spring and Iron Rot Helmet. Interesting. Okay. I can't imagine there's a world where Iron Rot Helmet is a decision based off of like that has to be a budget option, I would imagine. Like that has to be a budget option, I would say. It's the experience, dude. Absolutely. If I only played golf because I wanted to be good at it, I would stop playing tomorrow. I can 100% say that with a lot of confidence. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this off. We have a couple of options here. I can hit Cross Trap and come in with Surging Strike. And since my opponent doesn't have a lot of blocking equipment, I can throw the Whelming Gust Wave and try to get it to hit. And then from there, go E-Strike for draw a card for 5. And try to set up a 5-card hand with an arsenal here. Alternatively, I could pitch the Whelming Gust Wave to the Kodachi and then go E-Strike, putting the Gust Wave on the bottom for 7, arsenal the Surging Strike, and try to wait for a better hand. I think let's just go ahead and use Cross Trap. Like, this is a matchup where we want to race. And we want to put pressure on our opponent. I hung on to Cross Trap for a long time in the last story game, but I think that's just how the game played out. That wasn't really my, like, super big decision-making there, like big brain decision-making. That was just the way the game played out in total limbo there. Yeah. So this is interesting. So the Bonds doesn't actually give me anything here other than just like a big combo line. You know what we're going to do? I'm actually going to pitch this and go get the Mugenchi release. Which is like Species Spicy. This is some Species Spicy lines right here. Facts, I'm like $3,000 deep in Fab, not even thinking about events I've paid to play in. Yeah, absolutely, Young. Like, dude, absolutely, man. Like, that is 100% par for the course, man. Like, how much is your collection worth and how much have you spent on Flesh and Blood as a whole are not the same questions. I completely get that. Completely get that. Probably opponent is like me, just playing our IRL cards in Talishar. And I like a mod, like I think that's a very good way to practice. If you're just gonna be like, hey, like I'm gonna play my cards that I play IRL on Talishar so that I can get the most like authentic practice for what I'm gonna be playing, is like a very good way to get some good testing in for what you're actually playing. But I also think that I'm sorry, my brain is like having a stroke right now. That Talishar is a great way for people to experiment with cards they can't play in real life, if they are like on a budget and some stuff like that. So I definitely understand that like my opponent's probably trying to like, you know, play their IRL decks here, but at the same time, I think it's cool to like, you know, like try and like try and play some new cards that maybe you wouldn't play otherwise. It's a good way to get to experience more of the game, in my opinion. I have to go fill up my water after this. I mean, so I guess I want this to like, sorry, opponent. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to apologize to them here because they're playing the game. They're like trying to understand what's happening, and I completely understand that. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on Breeze Rider Boots And then we're going to go ahead and get all 3 of these. And then, yes, I'm going to break Breeze Rider Boots. And then I am going to attack. Why is it not letting me pay? Oh, there's none in my graveyard. There's just none in my graveyard. I was not thinking about that. Although I think the boots did give this go again because it does not get go again by itself. So something to keep in mind there. I am going to pitch the Lord of Wind here just to like the Kodachis here. Just to like keep the Kodachi or like just to keep another blue in my deck. I don't know that I should have went all in on the combo this early in the game. Like, it's kind of early in the game to, like, just be going, like, ham like this, so might have been a little early, and I might have, like, gotten a, like, might have went a little preemptive, like, aggro here. We do put our opponent to 29, though. At least I think we're going to put him to 29. We definitely want to get the Dishonor in the graveyard. So I could just block 9 here. Like, I think this is a perfectly fine play to just block 9 and then attack with the Fluster Fist. Our opponent might have just wanted to Arsenal anyway, but I think our opponent should have Arsenal to Stillblade Supremacy there. Like, I don't really understand why they played it. Maybe they were hoping to try and get me there, but Stillblade Supremacy is like really good with like Iron Song Determination and some like other cards like that that like give domination, or like the Singing Stillblade, or you know like Stillblade Supremacy has a lot of value with like more cards in your hand. Blue Cadaverous Contraband, intertesting. This is probably just going to be Kodachi attack with Command and Conquer, and then I'll just hold the Flick Flack here. I don't think there's really a reason to play Flick Flack here. But we're probably just going to come in with the Kodachi, pitching the Gust Wave, and then play Command and Conquer, Arsenal the Surging Strike. I think that's going to be our best play here. I guess I could give Breaking Scales and the Flick Flack here to like force them to play a card, but they're more than likely going to play a buff here anyway. And if they don't have a buff, I would be pretty surprised at this point in time. Yeah, there it is. So we would have just given up an extra point by blocking with the Breaking Scales when we knew they were going to play a card anyway, more than likely. So multiple blue Cadaverous Contraband. Interesting. I mean, I like Cadaverous Contraband. Most people play it as a popper. So not the blue. I'm surprised to see the blue in their list. It's kind of that's a little spicy, meatball. I wonder if there's like no longer lurk. Does that mean you're like no longer watching, or like you're now active in the chat, Kyle? You hanging out now? Pants, dude, you're killing me. You're back for 2 minutes, and pants is the only thing you got to say to me. But fine, if this is what we're doing. Here, you happy? I'm wearing jeans. We went out to dinner, and I have on jeans from going out to dinner. Probably should have put on shorts. Probably would have been a lot more comfortable, but you know, it is what it is. Pants, please, lol. I'm just gonna make a command for you, and it's just gonna be exclamation point pants, and then it's just gonna say, yes, Kyle, I'm wearing pants. I hate pants, Sax. Don't we all, man? Like, don't we all? Yeah, Kyle plugging himself. Pants is not a thing yet. Sorry, Kyle. I'll work on that. Tonight or tomorrow sometime before I stream again so that you can have the pants command. Didn't mean to plug myself. Dude, plug yourself. Plug yourself away. Guys, if you guys are like me, you guys like to play phone games. I play Clash of Clans on my phone all the time. Kyle is a Clash of Clans content creator, and he's an excellent one at that, if I might say so myself. I was like, I watch literally every video that he posts. So if you guys like Clash of Clans, consider looking at the link that Kyle just posted for himself there. I used to not even own pants. Well, that is an interesting statement, Young. I can't say that I think I've never not owned pants. I can definitely say that for sure. This is an interesting hand. It's actually a really good hand. It's actually a really good hand. Oh, num 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 num. This hand's insane, actually. This hand's cracked. Your pants look better on the floor. Oh, look at Carly. I know what I'm doing later. Oh, Carly's gonna kill me one day. I love it. But then my new job said I had to wear pants. Sad. I get that. Wearing pants is often required in the workspace. I would say that it's pretty commonly frowned upon to not wear pants. if I was a betting man, Young, I would dare say that's pretty common across a lot of workplaces. But that's the cool thing, man. If one of these days, if I ever make streaming a full-time job, I could just stream with no pants on. Not that I ever would, because then I would stand up and accidentally show the world my entire business like a complete boob because I would forget it and I wouldn't be thinking about it, and it just turned into a whole scene. So I'm not going to do that because it'd be the quickest way to get canceled, but would be cool to be able to just sit at home and not wear pants all day. Wearing pants feels like prison. I mean, I don't know that I share that strong of a sentiment about it, but I would agree that wearing pants is like wearing pants is less fun than not wearing pants. I would say that. Like, I would stream pantless. Carly said you already do, Kyle. Oh, yeah, Kyle, you literally stream with no pants on. You tell us that you're streaming with no pants on. I had little to nothing to show. YouTube wouldn't flag me. Oh, self-burn. Those are rare. Take it back. That was funny, but take it back. Even if this connects, we're not going to like activate Katsu here. Sorry, I know I'm not really talking about the game, but our hand was like really good. Just like natty by itself because we have the dishonor here. So we can turn off Dorinthia's ability. Or I say we can make an attempt to turn off Dorinthia's ability. I don't know that we'll actually get to. If my opponent only blocks for 4, we're definitely just going to use the breaking scales to push through the mask hit and to push through this effect. Now, the mask hit isn't really going to be super relevant here, but I work from home full time and have become Captain Sweatpants. Oh, dude, I get that though. I work from home a few days a week, and I completely understand, dude. Like, I literally, like, when we have meetings, like, none of us use our cameras at work when we have meetings. So, like, when we have meetings and stuff like that, and I'm working remotely and I'm on my computer on Teams and stuff like that, dude, I like, am almost assuredly in, like, a hoodie and, like, probably sweatpants of some variety. Like, so brother, I completely get it. I completely get it. Completely understand. I record without pants. I always stream with pants. Kyle, take it back. That's not how the game works, and you know it. Take it back. I swear to God. I will get Carly involved. And yeah, I do believe I remember you saying that you record without pants. I do feel like I remember you saying that. I don't like giving up a second counter, but I think that we have double Art of War here. So I think I'm okay to just... I think I'm okay to, like... to, like, kind of take a little bit of damage here. Captain Sweatpants, I love it. It's a good day if I don't have to put real pants on. Hashtag PJ Life. I mean, some of the funnest days are when we, like, don't have to get out of bed and we can just, like, hang out in the bedroom all day. Hang out in the bedroom all day? I did my interview for Mattress Firm on Teams with no pants. Dude, you're lying. You did not do a work interview with no pants on. Bro, you're clowning. You have to be clowning. I'm going to go ahead and block with breaking scales just so we get the value out of it. Slip on the Crocs and walk my dog. Dude, 100%. 100%, dude. So we're going to pitch Whelming Gust Wave. We're going to go +1. We're going to go buff and banish, and we're going to banish the Fluster Fist here. Hey, they conceded. Cool. So I was going to go buff and banish because I had the other Art of War to give go again to the red Fluster Fist if I needed to. On the second one, I was going to go banish and go again if I needed to. So it just kind of depends on what we draw there, on what our hand looked like after we drew. But okay, so again, our opponent conceded kind of early, and I don't really know why. I don't know. Had a big turn coming up with double Art of War. Only 20 to 25 damage. Not a real game. I'm just going to put not a real game at the end of that one in caps because our opponent was playing like a budget option or something there. So like, I don't really think that like we're getting the ultimate testing in that spot. So I think that's definitely like considered like a non-game if I was going to like put a label on it there. Just because of like our opponent just playing a budget deck. I don't think like as far as like comp testing is concerned, I can really put that at the top of my list. So, bro, I had on a polo and glasses, no pants. Oh my god. He did tell me about this after, but press texted out about you not streaming pantless. I mean, Cal definitely streams without pants on. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, I'm gonna go fill up my water real quick before we find another game. I'll be right back, guys. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is about to get interesting. I think we want to go second. We're going to bring in Arcane Lantern, we're going to bring in Tide Flippers, Mask of the Pouncing Lynx, and then do I want Tunic or do I just want Cross Trap? I think we just want Cross Trap to just go ham. Actually, you know what? He probably just has it in here. Azalea, Boost Dash, Bravo, Dory, Dromai, Evo Dash, Io, Icelander, Ninja, Rhinar, Runeblade, Azuri. Let's look at the Icelander matchup and see what that looks like. Breaking Scales, Pouncing Lynx, Tunic. This might be a cross trap matchup. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure here on what we're looking at. I think this is a cross trap matchup personally. Because we don't have Kano on here, I can't really like give a full evaluation here. I also think that we're gonna have to like trade a card out here for the. I think we're gonna trade the Mugenshi release. Let's trade the Mugenshi release for the Art of War. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna play 61 cards. We're just gonna play 61 cards, and I'm gonna run cross trap. I don't know. I don't know if this is correct. I would be curious to know if Pudding had a take on this matchup. Katsu, Talishar, Kano, and we're going second. Let's get everything set up here the way we want it. Mind Warp. Not sure you make it 6 turns. It's always cross trap. That's kind of my thought process here, but it makes me feel better to know that you also think that. So I like that. We like that. We love to see it. Guess I'm just gonna pitch Diplomacy here to AB2. Now my opponent can go get anything with this, but Ether Wildfire is revealed. Let's just go ahead and break cross trap. I mean, let's just get in there. Like, we're automatically using cross trap, which I love. Like, we're automatically pushing the tempo here, which is exactly what we want to be doing. I mean, I guess we're just gonna go get a bonds here. Like, I don't know what is coming after the Whelming Gust Wave here. That could be better than this. I mean, it's just bonds is for 4, and I can go get another 100 wins here, which doesn't seem too bad. Like, yeah, that doesn't seem bad. I can live with that. If our opponent just gives us 1 card and blocks for 3 here, I'm definitely just going to block with Breaking Scale. I'm just going to use the Breaking Scales to get an extra card here. We definitely just want the extra card. And then we come in for 4 with the bonds. We go get 100 wins from the deck. They can't just block for 4, I imagine, but if they do, I also think Pouncing Lynx is correct in this matchup. We're just going to go ahead and break this. We're going to go get a Winds of Eternity. Yeah, let's just go get a Winds of Eternity here. And then we're going to go Kadachi. Just to push through an extra point here. $100 wins for 3. This has been a pretty good turn for us here. This has been a pretty good turn for us all the way around. Pretty explosive start. Our opponent not blocking has turned this into a pretty good start for us for the beginning of the game. Also, us getting bonds was a really good play, although I didn't entirely see the line at the beginning. Definitely some of my lack of Katsu coming out and showing a little bit there. So this is now a blue 0 for 4 that allows us to shuffle in the 100 wins that we have on the combat chain here if it hits. And our opponent's just blocking. I think they're just saving face at this point. And then... I'm going to take 1 arcane damage, go to 37 to keep my blue. I mean... let's go banish and go again. This is interesting. If they go for the combo here, they're just I don't think they can kill us from 37 when we have 2 resources, another blue in our hand, and we have AB2. They could, but I really don't think it's possible from 37 with us having access to AB2. But I've been wrong. I've been wrong before. I don't know Kano super well, which is a big problem. I should definitely know Kano better. Thanking Jesus, Kano LL'd. Kano LL'd and Blitz, right? He'll be gone for this next weekend of skirmishes, right? I believe. I think that's what somebody. I think Trent was telling me that earlier. So how does that make you feel better about playing Blitz, Harrison? Making you feel better about playing some Blitz skirmishes? Genuine question. I'm not being sarcastic. Genuine question. I mean, yeah. And then I guess I can just block 1 and go to 18 and then let my Art of War resolve. Sweet. I almost cried when I saw that. I hate playing against him. Haha. Okay, like that was a weird game. My opponent just like tried to combo and they just like didn't combo there. That was weird. Like I guess my opponent got excited and let it all out too early. You could say. I almost cried when I saw that. I hate playing against him. Oh, much better. I almost only play Blitz, so it will be an awesome change. Well, cool, man. That's awesome. I'm excited. Like, I don't really hate playing against Kano by any means, but I think it makes like sideboarding a little bit more interesting, like your inventory slots in Blitz. So I don't play a ton of Blitz, so like learning Blitz, like not really, I wouldn't say learning Blitz, but like refreshing myself with the format and like trying to keep up with it is definitely something that like I think I'm gonna like have to like try and do over the next like week to prepare for a couple of skirmishes, because not this coming weekend for me, but the weekend after, the week of like December 8th or whatever, we have a skirmish on that Friday night at our local store, and then on Saturday we have a skirmish, and I'm gonna try and play in both of them, I think. So opponent went for combo on turn 3 when I played Art of War, fell short, and I won. I feel like that's a pretty accurate representation of that game. A better Kano player might not have got put in such a bad spot by going for the combo as early as they did, but we'll take it. We'll take it. What do I keep copying that gets rid of my deck link that I'm copying? Whatever I'm doing keeps getting rid of it, and I'm just like, on the inside. How many games have I played tonight? What is it, 6? 6 games so far? Yeah, so I played 6 games, and I'm 5-1, so we got to update the record here. Update the record just a little bit here, so we got a little 5-1 action going on. All right. Good luck, have fun, opponent. I feel like I recognize that name from somewhere, that Talishar name, but I don't know where. So Azalea, we got Mask of Momentum. We got all of our cards. We're taking out Soul Beat Strike, Winds of Eternities, 100 Winds, and Bonds of Ancestry. So we're leaving in Flick Flax and the Reinforced Lines, which I kind of like here, honestly. Oh, this is... This is interesting. I think I'm just supposed to... Honestly, I think I'm supposed to go Kadachi, play Warmonger's Diplomacy, and pass. Which is, like, kind of interesting. Very, very weird hand. Very weird hand, but this is a very good way to start the game. I'm going to pick War, and then I'm going to go ahead and arsenal my Whelming Gust Wave here. And we did not find what we needed to start the turn. Big Sag. Big Sag. Wait, no, I don't have a deck for skirmish. Billy, yeah, you got to be looking for something else, buddy. All joking aside, Billy, if you need to borrow cards for like a Blitz deck, let me know, man. I'm happy to help you out if I can. And if not, we'll definitely get one of the guys on the team to like help you out or something. Just let us know, and we'll get it figured out. Does Talishar record your match histories? So Talishar does not record your match histories, but if you use the website that I use called February, and that is FABRARY.net, it'll actually February.net, I think is what it's called. I know it's called February, but it'll actually record. Your games for you, and it'll keep track of all the games you play. So that's how I keep track of all my games outside of my spreadsheet that I have, because I have a spreadsheet I like to use. I mean, I think I can take some damage here. Like, we're just gonna leave the Whelming Gust Wave in our arsenal here. And then my opponent's just going to throw the Spire Sniping at me and Arsenal a card, I imagine. That's what they're looking for here. And again, I'm just going to take 3. All of my cards do more playing offense, so we're just going to leave it like that. Oh boy, do I love February. I mean, yeah, like Harrison, dude. Like it's like February is a great client. Like, yeah, I was like, I'm like, I almost like never joke about like February being awesome because like it is. It's great. February is awesome, and I actually had the pleasure of playing against Phil, I believe is his name, the guy who created February at Nationals. He's a big time Dromai player, and we played in one of the later rounds, and he is a super cool guy. Super nice and like super fun to like be around and talk to. Like he's a really cool guy. I had a good time meeting him and getting to talk to him. He's really cool. If it's a public deck, does it record everyone's? So if it's a public deck, it does. It records everyone's results. So a lot of times what you'll see people do is they post a deck list for their community to play, and so that they can see how their community does as well as how their games are going on top of it, so that you get an idea of how am I playing and how am I doing with this deck, but also how are other people that like, I don't know how they play and I don't know their play patterns. What are their results with the deck? Because if I'm having lackluster results and, my community plays a deck and they're having great results, then it's like, I'm doing something wrong. I need to figure out where my issue is and I need to get better on that breakdown right there. So it's one of those like interesting situations. And I think that like the public match history is like actually really cool. And I really like that about, about February. I just like, it's really cool that it keeps track of everything. I came over from MTG and February is better than any MTG deck builder they have. Brother, 100%. 100%. And I can say that as somebody who came from I don't have a Surging Strike, so there's no reason, like, even, like, what am I going to go get? Am I going to discard a red Fluster Fist to go get a red Fluster Fist? So, no, I don't think we're going to do that. And then let's do Fluster Fist here. Yo, Ahmad, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate that. Appreciate you being a part of the channel, man. I was like, I know you've been telling me that you're new to Flesh and Blood, man. What are you still looking to like dive into Katsu? Is that like the big hero that you're looking to like dive into and learn more about? I'm curious to hear more about that. Also super cool. I appreciate his contribution to the community. Oh, dude, Harrison, absolutely, dude. Like, Phil does so much for the community, dude. Like, so much for the community. Like, and I am like, again, this is one of those situations and times where I'm not being sarcastic at all. Like, he does. He has amazing contributions to the community, and like he absolutely crushes it, man. Like Phil is awesome, and Phil dumps a lot of his time that he doesn't have to into the game, and it's a win for all of us all the way around that he does that. So I really like Phil's great. I really like Phil. He's a really cool guy. So, but yeah, dude, February is way better than any Magic deck builder I've ever used, like almost bar none. So let's block 8. Let's keep our life total advantage here. Let's come in with the old cross-strappy boy. Cross-strappy boy makes my Surging Strike cost 2 less, which is convenient because it allows me to come in with a 0 for 5. Talk about a pretty good chess piece, huh? To be fair, Flesh and Blood is more restrictive in deck building. You can't really do money piles in a deck. I agree with that, but there are definitely decks that play way more Majestics than any other deck in the game. So I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you, because like four color money pile is just stupid. Like, it is, without a doubt. Four color money pile is just ridiculous. 1000%. But at the same time, like, playing Command and Conquerors, E-Strikes, like, and playing expensive equipment can be considered like a money pile style stuff. So I get what you're saying. I am helping my nephew building Katsu. I am already so deep in Dash.io. Oh, dude, Dash.io is a blast. Dash.io is so much fun, dude. Dash.io is so much fun. But I hope your nephew enjoys playing Katsu, man. Katsu is also a lot of fun. I'm definitely more of a Fi person myself, but it's a lot of fun. Like, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. I love deck building for this game. Helps me learn other heroes and keeps the game fresh for me. Yeah, Billy, 100%. Deck building is like one of the funnest parts of the game. Absolutely. So I kind of just want to go Kadachi, Gust Wave into Command and Conquer. go to 25, and then try to use my Art of War turn. I could also take this turn to try and make my Art of War like more productive here. This is also like this could be a very good hand depending on what I draw here. Having 2 Art of Wars is a little awkward though. I think I'm going to take the more consistent line of going Kadachi, Gustwave into pitching my second Art of War in my hand to play my Command and Conquer. Because Azalea is a deck that really likes to have an arsenal, and we're gonna threaten Mask and try to get a card out of their hand, and then after we threaten the Mask, we're gonna throw the Command and Conquer to really try and get a lot of our value here. So I think this is like a pretty solid play for us all the way around. And we get to sit on our Art of War and not take a chance that we have to draw into something better to make our hand more valuable here. We're taking the value that our hand gives us, which I think can be pretty good here. I think it's pretty solid. True Dracus, I like how I can just harpoon on a class and ignore other classes' cards. I mean, Harpoon is broken, dude. Like, Harpoon is like one of the coolest cards that the game has like represented since I've started playing. Because like one of the main pieces of playing Dash is Teklo Foundry Heart. Like you use Teklo Foundry Heart multiple times throughout the course of a tournament or out through the course of games and stuff like that. And so like it's really neat to like, oh, are they going to give this to us? They are. Interesting. Really wish we could Katsu something here. Am I supposed to like play an Art of War here in response? I know that's wild, but like, is that my play? Nah, there's no way, right? And then we're just gonna throw the Command and Conquer. I think this is fine. And then our opponent has to decide whether they like their arsenal or whether they like their hand better. Plus, we have a 5-point advantage here, and we have Art of War Surging Strike going into our turn. So hopefully they don't have a red in the ledger. That's really going to be the worst thing that we could see here. Red in the ledger would be really bad for us, but Reinforced Line makes it better. Okay, sorry, I got like totally hooked up there. Harpoon is awesome. Harpoon is like one of the coolest like conditional hand cards, like hand like mess with your opponent's hand, and like it being conditional is really cool because you can't use Teklo Foundry Heart, like, or if you do, you have to use it extremely strategically to make sure that you're getting the value off of Heart while also getting the value off of Harpoon. So like Harpoon is a great card, and I think it's very well designed. Also, it's a 1-for-4 with a relevant effect, which is cool. Diablo! What's up, buddy? How are you, man? I don't even know what you're saying yes to, but I'm here for it. And I love that you're here to say yes to it. Yeah, we're just taking 4 here. Like, I think we're just going to take 4 here almost every time. This hand is really weird, actually. Like, this hand is, like, super weird. I don't know. Send it. I know nothing about this, but always send it. Dude, absolutely. We're just, like, hashtag YOLO send it on kids, like, all night. Like, lol send it, as Kyle says. They lose all hero card effects and activated abilities until the end of the turn. So this is for 5. So if I give Bonds of Ancestry here and Reinforce the Line, I can just throw Surging Strike. That and Diablo, considering that your rank in your like status or like rank or whatever it is like, you know, 15 billion thousand or whatever, like I would consider that like, they're gonna brace or something. The fact that they're snapping means I'm just gonna take 2. Considering your rank is like 5,000 more levels ahead of me, I'm just gonna take your word for it. Just gonna take your word for it. Oops, sorry, I meant to say narrow down to a class, haha. But thanks for the mech love, dude. Like mech was like my first like hero that I really got into. Dash was my first hero I ever really played. So I am like, I'm all about like mech and like the value that like playing Dash has. Also, we can just like completely cover this up, which is like so good. Reinforce the line, block this out for 9. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I appreciate him, like, you know, like Talishar asking me and like keeping the game state as accurate as possible, but it just doesn't matter here. This hand is insane. This hand is so good. This hand is so good. It's so good. So good, Virginia. Oh. Okay, Bolton Shot does create a little bit of a problem here because... Okay, whoa, slow down. We can talk about this. We can talk about this! I think we're just about to, like, YOLO Swaggins and say who cares. Just go to 9. Take a Frailty and give them a Ponder. Hope they don't have a 0-cost arrow here. Hope they don't. They probably keep one of their buffs here if they don't have a 0-cost arrow here, or a Codex or something to play. Okay, Bolton Shot, not that frightening. Honestly, I would have pitched the Bolton Shot to be able to reload the Endless Arrow, I guess. I don't know. That's an interesting decision to me. Interesting decision. I don't know. Curious. Do you prefer Fatigue or Aggro decks? So, Ahmad, that's a super interesting question, and I really like it. I really like that question as a whole. If I'm being honest, I'm gonna so I played Oldhim for a long time, and if you're just now getting into Flesh and Blood, you don't really probably maybe not be too familiar with what Oldhim is looking to do. But Oldhim was a deck that blocked a lot, and it blocked very strategically, and like it used Crown of Seas and a lot of like really important cards that block super efficiently. Now, I loved playing Oldhim. I won a lot with Oldhim. I loved Oldhim. It was great. It was a lot of fun to play. But I do not like that, like, the control deck in this game is Fatigue, running your opponents out of cards. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, the idea of just trying to run your opponents out of cards is like a really cool puzzle to solve, in my opinion, and does require a high level of skill. But at the same time, I'm also just like, meh, like, you know, we could be like doing something cooler, like, in my opinion. So I don't know. Like, I have a pretty weird opinion about like that whole like situation. So like, I don't know. I think if I had like you put a gun in my head and said pick one, I would pick Aggro decks every time. It's just like what I like to do better. But at the same time, I also there's a lot of value for me in playing fatigue decks, and I like blocking, so I get that. Wally over here, I miss fatigue decks. Listen at you, I miss fatigue decks. Get out of here. Get out of here. Just gonna discard the Reinforce the Line, I think. I don't know, my opponent can take quite a bit of damage here. Do I have a Dishonor over here? I do not. So I guess we're looking at Flusterfist here. We're just looking at Flusterfist. Or maybe I'm just supposed to go Whelming Gustwave here and just make my opponent block more or give me a card, because Whelming Gustwave automatically has Go Again, and then I can use the Belak Water to try and make something happen. Or I guess Bonds of Ancestry, because this is already for 3 and they have to block with Card and Tunic, which leaves them with 1 card. So getting Bonds opens up more lines for me. Mugenshi Release with the options of Breeze Rider Boots also gives me the options to throw in some like pretty solid lines here. Mugenshi Release could actually just be insane. Mugenshi Release could actually just be cracked here. And I just don't think they can block it all, if I'm being honest. Man, Mugenshi Release is really spicy here. Mugenshi Release is like actually like what a one of here. Like, again, tipping my hat to putting here for the deck building, like insane deck building. The one of Mugenshi Release is like actually just cracked right here. How many copies of Lord of Winds do we have over here? None. You know what? Like, listen, we ball. We ball. That's all there is to it. That's just where I'm at right now. We ball. Okay. Woo. Sorry. Anyway. Wow, those 2 draws, LOL. Dude, those 2 draws were insane. We're insane, Billy. Absolutely insane, dude. Is there any good fatigue right now? I mean, I know you were asking Wally that question, but honestly, I don't really think there's like any good fatigue decks right now. Personally. Like, fatigue decks are kind of just like meh to me at the current moment. Oh, they just conceded? I guess they just conceded. So like I don't really think there's any great fatigue decks right now. If I had to pick one, like Decimator Axe Story is probably the fatigue deck. I know that Josh Lau is working on a fatigue Bolton deck that he was like maybe played at Worlds. I can't remember. There are some people like that are playing fatigue styled strategies, but I don't really think that they're like as good as as Oldham was. But I know that that's also like Oldham was just like the most insane blocking hero of all time. So take that for what it's worth. Tone makes a really good point. Pistol Dash is also a great control deck. Pistol Dash with the defense reactions is a great control deck, and you will beat the living crap out of Bravos if you play that. And if you work on playing like 12 to 15 poppers in your list with a couple of Remembrance, you have a decent shot into Dromai as well. It's a tough matchup, but it's something that you can win. So it's one of those things where you use your items to keep the board clear against Dromai, but you can win games like that. You can win games. I know some Riptides that are focusing on fatigue. I have heard people saying that, Billy, that people were playing fatigue Riptide. I played against one the other day. It was quite an interesting game, honestly. Quite an interesting game. I vote for Mugenshi since I was playing that card, LOL. Well, I'm glad I went with the card that you wanted to play there. I think that card was going to be insanely strong right there. Even if my opponent gave me the extra card off of Whelming Gustwave, I was just going to come in with the Mugenshi release there. If we drew a blue, pitching a blue, and if not, like, we were just going to come in for 5, and they might not have been able to block for 6 without giving us Tunic right there. They might have had a 3 block and a 2 block and then had to give us Tunic. Which means they would have been blocking for 6 to play around the breaking scales. And then from there, we've taken all the cards out of their hand. They take 4, so they go from 8 down to, they go from 8 to 4. Or maybe they went to 6. I can't remember what they were at exactly before they conceded right there. But they go pretty low. And then the Mugenshi release gets all the cards out of their hand, and then we throw the Belek Water, or we throw the card that we drew. And if we draw blue, we're pitching the blue to play Mugenshi release, Kadachi, Belek Water. So we're adding at least 6 more points to the chain from there. Anyway, sorry, I know I just like said 1,000 things in about 15 seconds, but that was a good game. Like, I feel like the deck really lined up for me in a very positive way that game. So let's see. We played Katsu. We were playing Talishar. We just played against... What was I just playing against? Having a stroke now that I'm, like, trying to look back on it. What was I playing against? Oh my gosh. Please, chat, somebody save me right now. I'm like having a stroke trying to remember what I was playing against. Azalea. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. I know nobody said anything yet. Like, at least it didn't come through on my end, but thank God I was... Whew. Man. We got a win. Big Heart of War turn. Towards the end of the game. Was going to push for Mugenshi release to really seal the deal. Close game. Okay. All right, so let's see. That's 7 games now. So we're 6-1, right? Is that 7 games? That's 7. Am I having a stroke? No, that's 7 games. So yeah, no, that's 7 games tonight's not bad, especially over the course of just under 3 hours. Let's play one more. Let's play one more before we call it a night. We're having a pretty good run right now, and the deck's feeling really solid. And I feel like I've been playing a lot better ever since I picked up Pudding's like sideboard guide and things like that. So feeling good. Yeah, thanks everybody for letting me know I was playing Azalea. I appreciate you guys letting me know. Arrows to the head does that to you, brother. That's the truth. That's the truth. So we have like our ninja, like generic ninja sideboard guide. So we do not have reinforced alliance. We've taken out E-strikes, diplomacies, and a bond, and we're leaving in the flick flacks. I like it, honestly. I think this is a really solid plan all the way around. The Katsu mirror is going to be interesting, and I'm gonna be honest, like, oh man, this hand is really weird. I don't know. 6-1, let's go. Thanks, Diablo. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I was like, it's been a pretty good night. We're playing the Katsu list at top 8 worlds, and it's feeling pretty good tonight, I won't lie. It is feeling pretty good. The idea of pushing Kodachis on turn 0 is that we want to push some damage. With that in mind, I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Bonds of Ancestry here and just push as much damage as I can. My opponent had a very awkward hand, and this is one of those times that it would have been very good for me to actually just keep my hand and force my opponent to have their awkward hand and play it out. But it's one of those chances you take when you decide to attack on turn 0 like that. I think we're just going to take both the Kodachis here. No reason to like really block the Kodachis this early on. I don't think anyway. And then this is for 2. So let's block with Dishonor. Let's go ahead and get a Dishonor in the graveyard so we can have that combo line. More pieces of that combo set up if we need it. We'll go ahead and get a Whelming Gust Wave in the yard as well. Let's go Kodachi. I'm actually just going to play Kodachi, and then I'm just going to throw the Bonds of Ancestry here. And then I'm going to Arsenal my Flick Flack. My opponent just agreeing to take the damage here. Interesting. I mean, this is, again, a hand that's not really, like, pushing a lot here. This kind of feels like a block with Breaking Scales and Flick Flack. My opponent would have to have another Art of War here or an Ancestral Empowerment, which is not crazy to think that they could have here, but we're just going to go ahead and block with the Lord of Wind here. Actually, let's block with the Fluster Fist here. This is also a combo card that blocks for 5, and it allows us to have a Chain Ender in our graveyard if we need to go get one later. Flick Flack putting in work right there. Flick Flack just let our blue block for 5 instead of 3, which is absolutely insane right there. So let's go Kodachi. Kodachi. They're going to block here. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm better off just throwing the Soul Bead Strike. This is a card that might get a block out of my opponent's hand, depending on what their hand looks like. Really depends on like what they're looking at here. And I'm not going to Katsu here because I don't have a 0-coster, but I'm also not going to throw my Descendant Gust Wave. I'm just going to Arsenal this. This is, again, like another hand that's like not really like doing a ton here. Oh, man. We're just going to block 5 here. Like, I think that's, like, really what we're looking to do. Okay. So they do play the Art of War. They might have just drawn it. I don't remember what they arsenaled here. Okay. And they have the Empowerment. Looking to, like, see more cards in their hand before they decide what they're going to do. We haven't seen a Surging Strike yet, so we haven't even been able to, like, attempt to, like, have a, like, real combo line here. I discard a Fluster Fist. So we'll just block 6 to play around the breaking scales here. Also stops a mask hit. We'll take the 5 from the Soul Beat Strike. And then we'll hope this isn't like a snatch or something. Dishonor is just a 0 for 3. So that's like okay. That could have been a lot worse for us. So we'll take that. Now, I know that like a lot of like recent Katsu lists have not been playing snatch. So it's definitely less of a concern than it ever has been. But at the same time, like still something to play around here. They do have more equipment block than us, which does scare me a little bit, I won't lie. I think I'm just going to take the Kadachi. This does not have combo, so... Fluster Fist puts me to 21. I'm perfectly okay with this. This is like a pretty... Like this, like again, like... This is still them pushing damage and making things happen, but at the same time... We're setting up to like play a Command and Conquer, which is a pretty good swing turn for us. So I'm going to come in with a Descendant Gust Wave here. We're also putting the Descendant Gust Wave as a card that we can search for in our graveyard off of the bonds if we need to. Not likely, but it could happen. So we're going to come in for 3. No, we're not going to Katsu. And then after that, I'm going to throw Command and Conquer, which will more than likely give me 2 cards out of their hand, or they might just come to 21 and decide they don't want their arsenal. It's hard to know what their hand looks like with a hand composition like that. I definitely imagine they're blocking 6. So hopefully this bought us enough tempo to like not be able to block this turn and to take our Art of War turn. But it is tough to say. This is also just like an insanely good card to start with here. And with the Tunic, it's, man, with the Tunic, that's tough. I mean, this is what Cross Strap is for, right? This is what Cross Strap is for. I think it's definitely a more poised decision. The decision that I just made is definitely like a more like controlled decision that I don't know that I always would have made in the past. Let's go. Interesting. Yes, let's use Katsu's ability. I think this is the best card we can go get. Maybe I was supposed to play one of the Art of Wars. I was probably supposed to play the Art of War from Arsenal, banish the Belak Water. The concern that I always have is that I'm not going to draw into something I want. Oh, God. That is like absolutely worst case scenario for me. I do not think that could have gone any worse for us right there. That's tough. I mean, I don't like, yeah. Like a Command and Conquer would have been okay right there. Like that, man. Shoo, that's not good. I honestly wonder if me playing the Art of War from Arsenal first changes my the entire concept of my turn and probably just gives me a better hand. So they kept their hand, which means they have to have something good here. I'm honestly debating if I should just say no blocks. Like, this is the hand I wanted. This is the hand I wanted. I think I have to say no blocks here. Like, I think this is just a losing game for me. Like, I don't think there was really a way to win this game. Yep. So I can actually give Mask here and stop this. And the Dishonor, like, really sucks for me here, but I think I have to take it. Yeah, I think I have to take the Dishonor here. I take 5, go to 4. Take 6, go to 3. And then if they break boots, it's because they're going to throw a card and force a card out of my hand. Okay, so they just wanted to push through the extra point there. All right, this is what we're looking for. This is the hand. We need this hand to be really good. We need to get a little lucky here off of our Art of War if we're going to win this game. I have committed to this being the line that I have to take to win the game. And considering they still have 3 more points of equipment block, I don't know that it's possible. But we're going to try it. We're going to come in for 3. This is the part where I said we're going to have to get a little lucky. Let's go buff and banish. Hang on. Is there a better line here where I can use the bonds? There is actually. So if I play bonds here, give him your energy, dude. Right now I'm trying to do anything I can to win this game. Sorry, I know I'm not really reading chat right now. I'm really trying to focus and make sure that I play this game to the like peak of my ability at this point. So apologize. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to make sure that I play optimally at this point. So all 3 red Whelming Gust Waves are over there. Where's the yellow one at? I think there's a yellow Whelming Gust Wave. So if I go Bonds of Ancestry and banish a Whelming Gust Wave, I have the potential to, like, when that hits, use Breeze Rider Boots, and then play Whelming Gust Wave, and then play Mugenshi Release. And I think that is a better play. I think that is 100% a better play for us here. I don't care about the Dishonor, so we're just going to go get a... I mean, I guess since I can go get a red Descendant Gust Wave. Or no, it has to be Whelming Gust Wave. It has to be Whelming Gust Wave here. I guess there's not a yellow one. I thought there was a yellow one for some reason. I could just be going crazy. Our opponent could decide to just... Oh, I guess... No, because if I play the one in my hand... So this is going to be for 1, 2. I mean, we're not out of this yet. We're not out of this yet. Karachi. Okay, so he gives me both of them. And we're going to Arsenal the Mugenshi release. I really wanted to be able to play it all there. I just don't know how. If I was able to just block with the Soul Beat Strike this turn, that would be amazing. Well, that's not going to happen. Unless they just drew garbage. So, Winds of Eternity for 3. Man. Okay, so I go to 2. We're going to go Kadachi, and then throw the release here. We're going to get at minimum 1 card out of our opponent's hand here. Even with the Tunic, we're still going to get 1 card here. Our opponent goes to 3, and now we're going to have to hope that, like... Alright, I'm going to take 1 here. Or is it better to give a 2 block? Nah, it's probably better to go to 1, block the second Kadachi here. So they are at the very least playing another Kadachi. Oh, this is tough. You're playing the wrong Katsu? Yeah. I don't think so, Nathaniel. I don't think so. I'm going to try to keep the Fluster Fist to get a card out of my opponent's hand here. Okay. I just don't know that there's ever a way out of this. I mean, they definitely could have had a surprise Art of War right there. Feels like it wouldn't have been too much of a surprise at this point, honestly, but... so now we're at a point where we just lose. That's unfortunate, because now they're just going to be able to keep 4 cards, and you're never going to be able to beat a ninja that has 4 cards. Like, it's just not possible, honestly. We'll block with this first, I guess. So, maybe if I break the Breeze Rider boots and keep the bonds in my hand, maybe we win this game. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I, like, think I took the line with the most upside. I think I needed... If I had broken the Breeze Rider boots on a turn when it was, like, actually, like, good enough... And that's going to kill me. Big Sag. It was a good game, and I definitely made a mistake. Like, I 1000% made a mistake right there. So, let's go ahead and change this to 6 and 2. So, on the big turn, when I went for it all. when the Whelming Gust Wave hit, I should have cracked Breeze Rider boots. Now, don't get me wrong. The draws were insane. The draws were really good right there. But knowing that I have Mugenshi Release in my hand, or I guess I went and got the Mugenshi Release, I think. I can't remember. But either way, I'm gonna go back and watch this turn again probably 3 or 4 times tomorrow to make sure that I'm like talking about this and making the right play here. But if I break the Breeze Rider boots on the Whelming Gust Wave, my turn never stops because the second Whelming Gust Wave, even if it's blocked, doesn't matter because it has go again because of the boots. Then I have the Mugenshi Release. That's for 6. Potentially 7. And if that hits, I get to go get 3 Lord of Winds with go again. So me not breaking the boots cost me the game, I would say. If we don't end the game, we take every card out of our opponent's hand right there. Definitely a misplay on my part. Mistake by me cost us the game. Because they were able to block out and not give us the boots the rest of the turn. Dang. It's good, though. It's good to know that I messed it up and that I can fix that. Like, if I lose a game because I can't do anything about it, I'm always kind of bummed because it's like, oh, I could not have played any better. I couldn't have affected the outcome there. But knowing that I messed up makes me feel a little bit better because it's something I can work on and it's something I can improve. So it's good to be able to look back on that and fix that. Definitely what I'm going to be watching tomorrow. Hey, Steven, what's up, dude? Showing the release early was brutal. Yeah, that was the time to breeze. Then there was the turn before holding the Art of War 2. I think you had that for sure. Yeah, Steven, I definitely had that. I made mistakes. And you guys are definitely seeing like my lack of knowledge of Katsu right there, and like me not being able to look far enough ahead to make sure that I'm making the plays that I needed to make. So, but yeah, definitely some mistakes there at the end during that last game that definitely would have put me ahead and won me that game. So good to know that I should have won that game, though. It's good to know that I could have won that game had I done it. I like how you can analyze when you messed up. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. I make a lot of mistakes when I'm streaming, just a lot of times because I'm trying to interact with the chat and I'm trying to focus on the game. So like I make mistakes and I like to talk about it because, you know, not everybody catches all the mistakes they make, me included. And I think some people that watch me don't catch my mistakes either. So I really like to talk about it and break it down so that you guys can understand that, like, you know, like I'm a firm believer that when you lose games of Flesh and Blood, Flesh and Blood is such a low variance game, in my opinion, that most of the time when you're losing, it is on you. Now, put that in this little box right here. Outside of that box, it's a card game. There's variance. You're going to lose sometimes. There's nothing you can do about it. It does happen from time to time, especially against certain heroes in certain formats. So, but I definitely like being able to sit and analyze like what I did wrong and talk about how I can work on it. Because if I can take things and I can work on it and I can move forward, it means that I can get better and I can keep growing as a person and a player. So, absolutely. So, that's right, Drew. I've tried to recreate that image so many times on stream and I just never can. Like, me doing that. I don't even remember where I was at when I stuck my tongue out like that, but it was so funny. I definitely need to work on this too. Dude, I think that's something everybody can work on personally. Like, working on, like, you know, like, realizing when you made a mistake is, like, I think a very important part of games. And I think it's like one of those big things because I think a lot of people who are like, you know, younger, like whether they're like in their teen years or like in their early 20s, I was like this a lot when I played Magic. I would go, well, I just lost. I couldn't do anything about it. And it's like, I probably could have made a better play somewhere along the way. And I think that's like, I think as I've gotten older, it's a sign that like I've like, you know, matured a little bit and that I like to look and try to make sure that I'm making the right plays. So I have a great player. Dude, Steven, thank you. That's very nice of you to say, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Guys, that's it for the stream tonight. We went a little over 3 hours tonight. Went 6-2 on the world's Katsu list tonight. Really liked that list. It really felt clean, and it felt a lot better once we found Pudding's list that has a sideboard guide in it. So that's definitely what I'll be streaming tomorrow as well. The members on YouTube voted, and we're going to be playing World's Katsu list all week this week. So if you guys like Katsu gameplay, make sure to tune in. I'll be live on Tuesday and Thursday for sure, and probably 1 or 2 days this weekend. Not really sure what's going on Wednesday or Friday yet. I think I'm playing cards Friday, and Carly and I are hanging out on Wednesday. So if I am streaming, it'll probably be some Fortnite or some Call of Duty. So if you guys like Fortnite or Call of Duty, come back and hang out. I'm much worse at Call of Duty and Fortnite than I am cards, but I still enjoy playing them and have a good time. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Appreciate all the follows tonight. And appreciate everybody just, like whether you're YouTube, Kick, Twitch, wherever you're at, appreciate you guys hanging out. Means a lot. I'm going to see if there's somebody to raid, on Kick and, on Twitch playing Flesh and Blood. Then I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out and have a good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.